And around Australia, welcome along to Subiaco Oval here in Perth for more action from round 16 in the AFL competition. And today it's the Fremantle Dockers up against those Western Bulldogs. And both these sides with plenty in common. They're both coming off bad losses. Last week, Collingwood accounted for the Dockers to the tune of 100 points at Victoria Park, while Brisbane outclassed the Bulldogs by 64 points. What we've got in Perth is a terrific day. Hardly a cloud in the sky. Forecast top of 20 degrees. Here come the Bulldogs. Scotty Wind back in great form. And alongside him, great to see Leon Cameron back. Can they win on the road? Their record is pretty good. Big assignment as we go down to Adrian Barrich on the boundary with the Bulldogs coach Terry Wallace.
Well, thanks, Terry. The boys look pretty focused. What do you have to say to them?
Oh, well, yeah, look, we haven't lost 2 games in a row all year, and I mean, obviously you come across here and you're away from your home supporters and all the people that really care about the club, and we just only hope that they can be really focused on their job today. It's a magnificent day. Will that suit your guys, you think, or better for Docker footy? I think it's both, really. It should be a good game in that respect. So, I mean, we see ourselves as being a high-scoring and fast-running side, and certainly the conditions will suit the Dockers as well. So, you know, just hopefully we'll be able to come out and top on the day. Just finally, a battle in the midfield mainly, will it be? Is that where the game will be won and lost? Yeah, I really think it'll be a war in there, and that's you know, that's what we've come across here for. Take a few scalps and get on. Good on you, mate. All the best. Thanks for doing that.
The 1997 AFL Premiership season. Proudly brought to you by Foster's Light Ice for extreme refreshments. Telstra, making life easier. Qantas, the spirit of Australia. And McDonald's, the official restaurant of the AFL.
Fremantle coming onto the ground as I'm joined by Ross Glendinning. And the Dockers have made quite a few changes, as is their wont.
Yes, that's exactly right. I mean, Murillo and Whiteley were released yesterday, but now we're also losing Callahan and Bandy. So those changes. You had some doubts about Callahan. It looked as if he may play
after last week.
I mean, I think that's a pretty smart move. I mean, to have him play today under a cloud against a great running side puts enormous pressure on that sort of player. So
still plenty of run, we've got to say.
Well,
looking at that lineup.
Chisholm back in, and I think Ben Allen's also a player who they can use. I'm not sure how they'll use him today, but they have, when he's played, used him pretty much full time on the ball. Wills, Toya become very important in those running roles, and maybe someone like Heath Black also across the wing with Durkay. They need to get that midfield running and ascendancy there to give their forward some sort of chance.
Jess Sinclair, very impressive last week too, a youngster from Victoria. Liked his game on the wing. Watch out for him this afternoon. And I mentioned Leon Cameron back for the Bulldogs. Yeah. Suited on this ground.
Oh, look, I think so, Dennis. I think he's just an outstanding player. He's played 3 games in reserves leading to this game just to make sure his ankle's right. He's also had some quaddy problems pre-season, but he's the sort of player on a dry track that can really hurt you. He kicks the ball 40 and 50 metres each time he gets it, so they've got to try and cut him out in some form.
Well, if we're talking about running players, they've got a few too.
Well, I think they've got some of the best there. Rowan Smith, Brad Johnson, Scott West, 5, 6 and 7. And you complement that with Ramiro and Liberatore, who get running type roles, and Di Martino.
And they're so good, Ross, at getting the ball out of the middle.
Well, they are the best. That's the stats show so far this year, and that's where the Dockers have to be more mindful.
The Dockers not so hot.
Well, exactly. So someone like a Spider Burton up against Scotty Wind, who's in form, in Brownlow medal type form, Scotty Wind, and I think that's an important duel. We say that all the time, but we say it because it's true. And there's the Western Bulldogs skipper. And so his duel against Spider Burton, so critical to see who gets that ascendancy midfield.
And what do we say? We talk about this quite often too. The crowd today, disappointing, given the importance of this game. The Dockers can't pull a crowd.
Yeah, but it's amazing that, because it's just perfect. Maybe that's the reason why they're not here, Dennis. Maybe there's other attractions. But when you've got a good membership, why don't they turn up?
I don't know.
So it's a difficult one. You're playing also one of the better sides in the competition, so you'd think there would be an attraction to come to the footy. So we can't influence that other than to say that it's going to be a great tournament.
Scotty West in terrific form, so second against 13th, but not much separating these sides in terms of what they've done so far this season. Can the Bulldogs win on the road? It's the Dockers and the Bulldogs right after this. Peter Mann trotting back towards his group. He's just won the toss, and Fremantle will kick left to right. As we said, just a terrific day there at the Bulldogs. Daniel Hargraves, surprise selection really. Tyson Lane out of their side. Now our man in the outer this afternoon, a man who'd love to be out there as well, is Jeff White. Good afternoon, Jeff.
G'day, how you doing?
Yeah, not too bad. How are you feeling?
Yeah, pretty cold actually. I'm in the shade, but it's a magnificent day for football, and a very important game for the guys, and they're very pumped up. So I'm looking forward to this match.
And you've been in the news, but we won't press that today, eh? We'll give you a break.
Okay, that's fine. Yeah, that's fine with me.
At the moment, we know where you are.
Yeah, that's right. That's exactly right.
We'll be talking with Jeff White throughout the afternoon, and we're joined by Peter Landy. Hi, Pete.
G'day, Dennis. Good afternoon, everyone. Great day. A little bit cool this morning, but ideal conditions for footy, and I must agree about the crowd. A little disappointing, isn't it?
Oh, very much so, Pete.
Given the nature of the game, yes. There's Hargraves. Exciting young player. Adrian Barrage is down there as well. Adrian?
Absolutely superb day for footy down here. I don't think you could get better conditions. About 22 degrees, a firm surface. The Dockers think it will suit Docker footy. They think it's made to measure for them. They think they have to get on top of the Bulldogs in the midfield. One interesting statistic to emerge from last week's game against Collingwood, the ball went into their forward line and was marked only 7 times in their forward 50-metre area. 7 times last week against Collingwood, and 7 times Kingsley Hunter took the mark. So they'll be looking for Kingsley to do something. But a very telling statistic there. The Bulldogs, well, weren't they pumped up? Terry Wallace said that the boys had just set themselves for this win on the road. They are ready to go. They need to win in the midfield too, so the battle of the midfield should be a great one.
We're ready to go. First bounce at Subiaco Oval. Bit of pushing behind the umpire. Burton and Wine. Burton slaps it down. West missed it. Going in very solidly was Dent. There's a Docker down, and that's Toya. The ball goes down towards half forward. In slides Sinclair. Tries to hand pass it out. Chisholm keeps it going. Knocked out of the congestion by Johnson. Cameron, nicely done. Slips it across to Ellis. Ellis up towards the wing. Kick it.
Toya's coming off.
Yeah, he's got to come off.
Pretty predictable that. Ball is given up to Grant. Inside the centre square. Chips it out wide. Collinhook's got it. At 85 metres from goal. Steve Collinhook. Toya met very solidly. Kick inside the 50 meantime. Harding knocks it down. Romero stood up in the tackle. Parker thought about it. Didn't give it. It was well played. Kicks it up towards the wing, and Chisholm. Chisholm's away now. Has a bounce running down towards half forward. Not a good kick though. Hunter comes on the lead. Gathers the bouncing ball. Immediately gathered himself. Sinclair again. Feeds it across. Well played. Hunter from 55. Bacon square. Not in the action though. It bounces well wide of the mark.
I had the glasses on Toya when he went down at the opening bounce. He was absolutely crunched. We may see it here. Watch for number 1. He gets taken a little bit high.
Oh.
Dent coming through doing the damage there. Kingsley Hunter should have made more of that. That's a fair eye he's got there, Luke Toya. Hunter really could have steadied and popped that through.
Won't see too much of the match, I reckon. Chisholm. This way, that way. Finally a snap at goal. It's not bad. First blood to the Dockers. Well, amazingly, he found some space there, ran into a brick wall first up, turned around the other way, and was able to put it through.
Yeah, just one of those players who just has that finesse and ability to get through that busy traffic there. Does enjoy a role on the forward area too. He's predominantly been a back player. It's a clever goal.
No real wind advantage here today.
If there is any, Pete, it's favour in the end the Dockers are going to, but it's marginal.
As Terry Wallace said, the Bulldogs haven't lost 2 games in a row all year. They were beaten in the first round by the Dockers in the last kick of the day by Winston Abraham.
That was interesting. The boundary umpire called it on Dent. Now, he wasn't in early, but the boundary umpire saw what happened last time.
So the big fella, the Spider, takes the free. Lobs it inside 50. Marking contest down there. Quiddiot makes it no contest. Gives it away to Smith, one of their dashing midfielders. Ian Johnson. There's Johnson. He's almost look-alike. Tries to keep the ball in play. Paddles it 20 metres downfield, but it is out of bounds. And let's go down to Adrian on the boundary.
Yeah, Pete, what a start. I think Scott West got Luke Toya. He's been hit over the left eye, as you saw. A big shiner is coming up. Slightly concussed and now is having an ice pack applied. But he is a tough character, the Kalgoorlie kid, and I think we might see him again. I wouldn't write him off yet.
Matthew Dent, I think it was, coming off the line there, Adrian. It was rather careless. There goes Romero down towards half forward. Might hear more about that as the ball goes towards the boundary line, and McGovern kept it in, feeds it back, kick it. Did nicely. Gale had to wait, marks it across half back, wants to go now, miscues slightly. It bounces to Harding, bit lucky there, feeds it out to Wiley on the run. Waits this situation. Mitten Connell out after him. O'Reilly gets up to the wing, kicks to half forward. Man is in front. Good grab against an old teammate, Daniel Southern. And from outside the 50.
That's exactly what he'd want to do too, Dennis. Take a grab early. He's been under a bit of pressure, Peter Mann, but I believe you should just persevere with him in that situation. If he can kick a goal, great start for him.
And the Dockers. This to lead by 12 and or 7. Has it got the carry? I think it has.
Did you know it can take 20 years to grow a bonsai? Grass grows at around 1 millimetre every 12 hours. But at McDonald's, it only takes 61 seconds to get yourself a free Big Mac.
At McDonald's, we think our service is pretty hard to beat. So we'll give you a voucher for a free Big Mac if your meal isn't served within 60 seconds.
Anything yet, Brian?
Shouldn't be too long now.
McDonald's 60-second challenge. Your meal in a minute or a free Big Mac.
Bulldogs have been notoriously slow starters. They were blitzed by Fremantle in that first game. Got themselves back into it, only to lose it in a thrilling finish. Maybe we're going to see the same today. Wills, opportunity to run onto it. Ramiro goes off the ground. McGovern chases. Hargraves, late inclusion in the side. Kovanyuk from right half forward. First effective forward thrust. Minton Connell gets taken out of the contest and he's going to get a free kick.
I was saying he was held, but
by O'Reilly, presumably. I didn't see it.
Yeah, just the one-on-one. Chris Mitchell saying there was Minton Connell, I should say, was being retarded.
41 goals so far in the season. Difficult angle, but not an impossible one. Bulldogs yet to score. They trail by 12 points. Early stages of the first quarter. Almost warm conditions down there after a very cold morning in Perth. Minton Connell from 40 metres out. He's made a bit of a meal of it. From behind, if he's lucky, he's scraped it in for a minor score. So the first score to the Bulldogs, kicked by Simon Minton Connell, and they trail by 11 points.
Terry Wallace. Andrew McGovern. In the bright sunshine. Assessing the options here. Kick it comes short. Thought about it. Out of the pocket. Finds Parker. Over the top. Gale. Runs to half back. Boots it up towards the wing. Still runs on. Johnson gathers it. Sends it back in. Down towards centre half forward. Big leap in from the side. Hargraves. Missed it. Waiting behind O'Reilly. Did nicely. Slipped it away. Jones. Good to see him back. Burton across to Leach. Leach on the wing then. Kicking it down towards half forward. Clements. Oh, that's a great grab. Not paid. Tough call. Johnson comes away. Kicks back towards midfield. Awkward half volley for Hudson. Kick it. Clever hand pass. Wills missed it. Libber had a charge down. Could have been held. Sold into trouble. Ramiro. Dragged down. Liberatore grabs it again. Kicks it out wide. Dimatina. Well done. Judge the bounce best. Dimatina having a wonderful season. Goes to half forward. That was clever. Grant with strength. Working off Parker. Chris Grant down towards left half forward.
Speaking of having wonderful seasons, Grant having another one of those. Great kick. Straight to the opposition, and Harding, who was under some cloud, will take his place on the side. Ben Allen. His injury problems are well documented. Another great kick. That's out of bounds on the full. So the free kick will go to the Western Bulldogs. Matthew Dent should be the recipient. That's not a bad sort of a roost. Hudson, and it's a goal.
Is it true you can keep going all night on one glass of milk?
Oh, too right. But 2 glasses are even better.
Milk. Are you getting enough?
It's $1 million week at Tats Pokies venues. 200 $5,000 bonus jackpots must go, and they don't come out of your machine's normal winnings. Starting tomorrow at your local Tats Pokies venue.
There's our scoreline. Burton goes up, misses it, fell at his feet. Again, some hard work done in there as West runs away with the ball down towards half forward. The good mark is taken by Jones. Anthony Jones, a fine State of Origin player last season, back after missing 13 weeks. Towards midfield and Black. Johnson didn't have it, played it well, got it to Dent, who was taken high. A few of them very keen to get in hard on Dent. Make one. It'll have a bounce alongside the centre circle. Umpires this afternoon. Wine thumps it down. Black's got it. Then lost it. Picked up by Burton away to Leach. Good tackle by Liberatore affected the kick. Allen slips it across to Wills. Wills down towards half forward. In front is Hunter. Ellis did well to fly from the side. Hit the deck and away they come once more. Smith chips it out wide. Dimatina knocked away by Gale. Roving at Abraham. Chisholm has it. Short one was on, far too casual. Brilliantly played by Smith. Gets it across, looking for support. Dent falling to the ground. Got it to Dimatina. On it comes to Romero. He's dragged down. Eventually they work it across to Smith. Good chase from Wills. In short, Croft has it. Runners cruising by. He ignores West though. And now Croft kicks for space. Not a bad effort either. Hargraves should have marked that one. Did the hard work. Kickett steals it. Gets it across to Burton. Back come the Dockers. Harding has it. Little give across to Parker. Parker runs away. Headed by Spider. Kicks it down towards half forward. Too much carry. And it bounces out of bounds. Down towards right half forward for the Dockers, who lead by 5 points.
It's the second mark that Daniel Hargraves has dropped in that forward area. Should take those for the opportunities that come your way.
Ideal day for marking the footy. Couldn't get better. 18 degrees currently. So Burton and Wind, Brownlow medalist, against the tallest player in the competition. Gale gives it back inboard to Spider. Off a step, spiral punt kick. That was a good 55 metres. Ball hits the deck. Wirra, Sinclair. Wirra looking for support. Southern gives it to him. Crowd says ball. The umpire will come in and bounce it. Things getting a little willy. Not entirely unexpectedly. Ball up in the Dockers' right forward pocket. They've had a lot of the football in the first quarter. Still just leading by 5 points. 2 straight goals. Kicked by Mann and Chisholm. Southern with Mann. Mann, clean possession, and the snap won't quite make the distance. Touched by Pretiuk. Sinclair has got speed. Quick hand pass. Johnson to Smith. On it goes to Ellis. Ellis from right half back. High trajectory pass up towards centre half forward. Hudson gets onto it quickly. Clear of Kickett. Long bomb in towards the goals. It could be. There it is. He's kicked it. That's his second.
Shh. This way. Introducing the new Magna Wagon. Stylish on the outside and jumbo-sized on the inside. With extra safety features like the new Tri-Safe rear seat. With a passenger protection panel, plus a centre lap sash seatbelt. And all the handling and performance of the award-winning Magna sedan. So you won't know you're driving a wagon unless you look in the trunk.
Can we keep him, please?
The new Mitsubishi Magna Wagon.
Bulldogs by a point then, 13 and 12. Burton and Wind. Burton again knocked it down, taken by Liberatore, dragged down. Romero brilliantly done, slipped it away. Grant, that's ambitious, takes them on. Oh, that's a tough call.
You can't penalise him for that.
That is a terrible decision.
He wasn't retarded at all. He did bounce the ball certainly, but he wasn't held back.
Did he have him?
Look, he touched him. Nothing at all.
Dear, oh dear. Umpire Scroop having a good season. Bad decision right there. Parker meantime feeds it out wide. Black's away around the outer side. Black running it down towards half forward. 75 metres out goes long. Abraham worked out of it. Great judgment shown down there by Johnson.
Chisholm off, Durkee on.
Johnson to Smith. They combine quite frequently. Oh, gave it away to Allen. What was he thinking there? Again, Sinclair. He's got a bit. Goes across and has a word to him. Here's Allen.
It's just such a dangerous kick. You've got to be spot on. There's no way knowing you should go in that area unless players are very much on their own. And his teammates weren't for sure.
Allen to regain the lead right here for the Dockers. It's a goal. Will be 5 points in front. He's got it. Mike Hudson, a great finisher.
That's really a two-goal turnaround, isn't it? Because if that free kick hadn't have been taken from Grant, they probably could have scored a goal at the other end, and as it was, Allen has kicked one, so not a good couple of minutes for the Bullies.
Yes, for an experienced player like Rowan Smith, and he's such a good kick. As I say, it's got to be 100% on when you go in that situation. If you, any doubt at all, come down the boundary line.
Sometimes you can be too confident in your own skills, can't you?
So Fremantle regains the lead by 5 points, 3 goals to 2-1. Wind on his own, down to Grant, across Parker. Kick out towards right half forward. Colin sees it over the boundary line. Chased over by McGovern. And don't forget Talking Footy. Check your local guides for telecast times. John Elliott will be in good voice tomorrow night. As always. Wind wins it from Burton. Again Grant. Colin gives it back to Grant. Grant right on 50. Terrible kick, but a great mark. Down there by Jones. Yeah. Oh, gee. That could have been a repeat of what happened at the other end. Luckily for the Dockers, it wasn't. Kick it to McGovern. Will you give it back to Kick it? No, back's his judgment. Takes it over to Leach. Gets around Croft. Goes in short. Allen, who kicked the last goal. Best and fairest winner at Hawthorn. Allen kicks to a contest on centre wing. Ellis punches. Free kick to the Dockers. Attempting to punch, and in so doing he has interfered, and the free kick is going to Clement. Only was taken high, so theoretically correct decision. Clement from centre wing.
Down towards half forward, man in front. Good work by Southern. Able Dent to mark uncontested to Southern. Now that's untidy. Gets away though. Kept his head to West. But all the directions there. He went in the wrong one. Tackled by Wills. It's a free kick to Andrew Wills, about 65 metres out. Hits it high, man has to wait. Johnson comes back, man takes the mark. Well done. Johnson pleading his case, saying you touched it, but not much chance of having that work for you.
Well, if it's a simultaneous touch, a man's got both hands on, then gets into the second bite. It's a definite mark. And good tackle by Wills there to make sure that he dispossessed West. He had Kingsley Hunter short, but went long to man, which is a good option. Not an easy mark to take either. Definitely a mark, though. In full control.
Peter Mann, much maligned in recent weeks, has started well today. Dockers needed that from their skipper. 20 metres out. Gets his second.
8:30 tonight.
Colby Fitz.
Quality British dramas here on 7 with an all-new exciting cracker.
Well, tough titty. I'm not for hire.
Robbie Coltrane.
What are you offering? Dollars. US.
Hong Kong.
Pounds.
He's a very unorthodox psychologist.
Running from what?
With an instinct for truth.
He's lying.
And a nose for detection.
He's more experienced, he's more organised, he's harder to catch.
Cracker. 8:30 tonight on Channel 7.
Change being made as Jess Sinclair prepares to come back on.
Okay, will come off. Oh, Winston Abraham, I beg your pardon.
They do look alike. Flipped out to Smith, to Dent. Dent to centre wing and Grant. He gets a call to play on from the umpire. It's the half forward, looks to Hudson, and great judgment by Kickett to take the mark. Beat two of them. Centre half back. Will he give it to Wills, who runs across? He doesn't. Wirra. Good judgment. And Wirra from half back. Ramiro. Nearly chased down by Gary Durkay. The kick comes up towards Croft at half forward. McGovern goes with him. Almost taken high. Croft paddles it up forward. Cogganyuk. Centering kick from him. And that's effective too, because it's marked by Scotty Wine. A little give. Johnson down towards 4-4. That's as far as it's going. O'Reilly, great mark in the conditions. He really had to stretch for that one.
Yes, he'll be keen to atone for his effort last week where Rocker kicked 9.
Parker. Parker from half-back. Well, Wine's got him, but he did take him high.
By the hair.
Burton gets clear. The advantage paid to the Dockers. Waterhouse, big leap, couldn't drag it down. Sinclair scoops it up. Clement brushes one tackle, kicks past Wirra, long bomb, should land near the 10-metre square. Huge pack of players, like a bowling alley. They all went over. Waterhouse missed it. Southern goes in solidly with Kingsley, and they tie it up. It will be a ball up some 35 metres out from goal. Let's go down to Adrian on the boundary.
Yeah, just looky, Toyo, his eye has completely shut up almost, the left eye, and I don't know if he will see him now. He's got blurred vision, which is a bad sign.
There's the bounce about 35 metres out. Man could have been held by the arm there. Clement comes through, didn't have the ball. There he goes on. West, nicely done to Wirra. Comes away, slips it across to Dent. Dent from half-back up towards the middle. That's a very good kick. Pulled it back. Hargraves hit the ground running. Kicks towards centre half forward. McGovern. Andor kick it over the top. Hudson kick it to get the free. The man in the outer this afternoon, Jeff White. And Jeff, coming into this game, the feeling for the Dockers, did they expect it to be physical? I mean, it's opened up a bit now, but certainly the Western Bulldogs wanted to make some contact early.
Yeah, they've been renowned for their, even early in this season when Western Bulldogs beat Eagles at the Wacker, they were very competitive then, so we knew that they were going to come out very hard, and we also coming out very hard as well, as you can see with the start of the game. Well,
they're making it very hard at the present time. A couple of those Dockers going around in circles on the half-forward line. Wirra could have been legged towards goal, a loose ball. Diving in there is Black in trouble. Southern had him. Black goes again, putting the body in. Wirra slaps it towards the boundary line. The meat and the sandwich, Pretiuk. That was bad luck. Out of bounds on the full. He was outnumbered. He was hacking his way through. Gave it up. Now Durko's got it. The umpire, though, umpire Scrooge, still busy setting the margin, or rather the mark.
Yeah, saying the wrong player took the kick, Dennis, so Sinclair has to take it, not Hunter.
So Sinclair, no margin for error here. Tight, very tight from that left full forward pocket. Youngster of great promise. Jess Sinclair goes short. Wills is marked. Better angle, about 15 metres closer to goal.
He's got Ramiro running with him, but if Wilson get away off the mark, he'll be quicker in that area than Ramiro. Ramiro certainly has the capacity of rope to stay with him around the ground, but he can use that initial burst of speed to get away. It'll be a telling move.
2 goals last week. He and Kingsley Hunter did all the scoring. 16 goals on the season. Going at his first right here. The margin currently, the Dockers' way by 11 points. Wills. It's tight behind. Dent's off. Cameron's on.
And good to see Leon Cameron back. He's played a few games from the reserves, coming back after injury. He really has had a rotten run of injury. Let's hope that he can survive this game. It'll certainly be a plus if he can come through unscathed. Levis got a couple of paws to it. Couldn't complete it. Southern flips it up. On the end of it, Brad Wirra kicks across his body up towards half-back. Having it better is Hudson, who's kicked a couple of goals for the Bulldogs so far today. Centering kick from him. They have the numbers, but not the height. Burton was up high, couldn't drag it down. The Spider does well. Terrific hand pass over the head of Allen. Unfortunately, might sit for him, but it's coming back. And it's going to be a free kick.
It was dealt with afterwards, I think, Burton.
Down the field then, and it will be taken by Ben Allen. Still in the centre square, but he's a great kick. Long to full forward. Hunter, yes, good mark. As Dennis said, one of only 2 goal kickers last week at Victoria Park. He was on the major end of the seesaw.
Good decision by Allen too, because Mann gave him a shorter lead, which left Hunter and Crediuk one out in the square. With Hunter with confidence in his marking, why not go to him?
Kingsley Hunter for his first and the Dockers' 5th. A great start by the home side. And Scotty Wine coming off in the meantime to be replaced by Darcy. He kicks the goal.
This week, your real estate dollar.
Oh, the market at the moment is extremely strong.
This buys you this in Sydney, but what about in Melbourne? Also washed up before 20.
With gymnastics, there's nothing afterwards.
Aussie gymnasts find a future after Olympic dreams die.
This is a really good opportunity.
Plus the ultimate bitch.
You can get your man. Well, how? Hey.
The blonde bombshell known as...
Sister 39, international beauty and style guru.
Joanna Lumley tells all about AdFab.
Lord, they were fun to play.
This week on 7.
So the Dockers have booted the last 3 goals, approaching quarter time. Up by 18 points now. Bounce favours Burton, wins it down. And Darcy grabbed Burton as he followed through, so Big Spider will get the free. He's playing well.
7-2, the free kicks in favour of the Dockers.
So Burton, probably kicking a fair way. This is no exception. Well inside the 50, Waterhouse. Some Blacks marking down there. Now Waterhouse normally is a prodigious kick. This is not beyond him. Well, kick from just outside the 50. As Hunter and Mann drop back to the square. Clive Waterhouse. Gets onto this one. It's close. Just wide of the mark. Behind. Plays 2-1. Born in England, Waterhouse. Grew up playing soccer. Made his debut for Port Adelaide, actually, in the SANFL. Bit lucky there. It could have run on as it was. Smith took it across the line.
So not a great quarter by the Bulldogs. As I said earlier, they're renowned slow starters, but it makes your task a little bit more difficult getting a start to any side these days. Waterhouse again. Could have been in the back. Crowd certainly asking for it. Chisholm in the meantime ducks the head, but the whistle has gone. It's going to be a Dockers free kick. So they've been on the better end of the decision so far in the quarter. Into the goal square. Hunter nearly. Credihook off the ground. Hunter chases. The ball won't get to the line. It will now. Knocked over by Credihook for a throw it in the opposite forward pocket. So left forward pocket for the Dockers in the closing minutes of the first quarter.
Hunter should have marked that though.
Yes, he knew that for it. Yeah, and then he shouldn't have run over the ball. He'd already decided what he was going to do with it before he actually picked it up.
Mann. He's trying to get it to a teammate. Sinclair. Wira did well. West. West and fairest winner. The side was known as Footscray. Gale nearly. Kick it likewise. West. Good gather from midfield. Up towards half forward. Sprays the kick, but a chance for Grant. The ball bounds awkwardly. Harding attacks it. Still Harding. Now Gale gives it back to him. Terrible kick intended for Ben Allen. He may be able to run onto it okay. Kicks it off the ground. That was clever. Too strong for Clement. Ellis comes in, backs his judgment, charges through an attack. Well shepherded. Gets the disposal up towards Grant again. Their most effective forward so far. Croft. Hudson's kick too. Croft across his body. Straight into the arms of Spider Burton, right on his own defensive 50-metre line.
Just moments ago, great by Harding. Bruce Harding coming up to meet Grant, one of the big names in the competition.
Just backed himself, Dennis, didn't he? Just read it beautifully.
About an eyelid. McGovern gets it across. Leach messed it up. Liberatore dragged down, didn't have the ball. Coming through is Smith. Spots a man up ahead. That's Hudson. The kick, though, the execution not good. Wide of the mark. Hudson made it look okay. Kept it in. Wills is with the trainer. Meantime, Hudson goes for goal. And that's a great effort from there. Magnificent.
3 goals to Paul Hudson, their only goal kicker.
How about that kick?
Yes, well, Wills missed the body here. He tried to put Hudson out of the play, and in fact put himself out of the play. And as you said, Dennis sat with the trainer while Hudson went on, picked the ball up. That's a clever goal.
His dad would have been proud of that one. I think Terry Wallace, more importantly, is. So just over a minute to go in the first quarter. Hudson, the Bulldogs' only goal kicker. So he's had a pretty handy start to the game. Terry Wallace makes his way down to address the side at quarter time. Grant 5-2, Hudson 4-1. Allen hits the deck, able to get it to Parker. Parker's kick is high. Out towards half forward, may bounce over the boundary line, which it does. In front of Clement, it will be thrown in 75 metres from the Dockers' goal. The just on quarter time. Choco Royal on the left, Terry Wallace on the right. Right next to the boundary umpire for this throw-in. You'll get a good view of it. Mann and Southern. Mann just edges his opponent sideways. Clement, nice ball. And again, Durkay. He kicked this one. Hunter missed it. Plenty of weight being used in the tackles down there. Durkay comes up smiling. Crediuk hit the deck.
Keep holding on, Pete, going to Crediuk.
And Jared Neesham not far behind Terry Watts. So the kick to Crediuk. Last half minute of the quarter.
Puts it up towards the wing. Burton, rather tentative that time. Grant came in from behind. Johnson goes off the ground. Ramiro gathers it. Nicely done across to Cameron. Croft is on. He's got it now. No, he hasn't. Lost it. Finds it again. 60 metres out. Off the ball. It's going to be a Bulldogs free. Relayed down the ground. Cameron was taken from behind as he was shepherding. So they get it up the ground. Hargraves about 30 metres out. 45-degree angle. 13 seconds remaining in the term. So a very important kick, this one. Doc has got the opening couple of goals. Bulldogs came back to snatch the lead. And a string of goals from the Dockers. The last, though, came from the Bulldogs. Can they finish the quarter with back-to-back goals? Daniel Hargraves. Distance not a problem. The clock has run down. So this after the siren. He's missed it. He's missed everything. Out of bounds on the full. The Dockers retain that 13-point buffer. Entertaining first term. Luke Toyer off the ground at the very first bounce. Ben coming in off the line very hard. Determined to find somebody, and bad luck for Toyer. He happened to be the man.
Yes, and I think they're trying to make a decision with Toyer whether if he wants to come back on. They're trying to get sure that he can actually have that correct vision. Your eyes closed, so they're just sorting him out with a few short kicks.
He's got the glasses on him. He doesn't look, or his eye doesn't look too good.
But I think they did the right thing, the Dockers. They withstood that initial physical pressure and just played the football, because they're not that good themselves at applying physical stuff. They're better at using their running game, creating space, and using their that run to advantage. They did that early, which was to their credit.
Glorious day at Subiaco Oval. Fremantle lead at quarter time, 5-2 to 3-1. Quarter time at Subi, and the Dockers out by 13 points. It's 5-2 to 3-1. Peter Mann has put 2 goals and singles to Allen, Chisholm and Hunter. And for the Bulldogs, 3 to Paul Hudson, including a ripper about 5 minutes from quarter time. Sharpest of angles, and he steered it through. Luke Toyer, one of the casualties in the first quarter, went solidly at the very first bounce. And really, an eye almost closed now. Another game being played this afternoon. It's at the MCG. It's between Melbourne and North Melbourne. Some stations taking a replay of this match. If you're doing that, if you're going to watch it later, I suggest if you don't want to know the score, look away now. Jared Neesham. Our man in the outer, another Docker, Jeff White. And Jeff, what about the performance of Spider Burton in that opening term? 9 possessions and won just about every tap in the middle. He's been terrific.
Yeah, he's been great. It's good to see him come out of his shell, and he's been working so hard all year, and it's good to see that the hard work's paying off.
Maybe if he sticks around, he can rove to you, or you stick around.
Yeah, or actually, if I come in the end of the season, I might not get a game there, but he's doing well. It's good. It's good to see.
Yeah, he's been terrific. So we're set to go for this second quarter. 5-2, 3-1. Adrian, any news from the respective huddles?
Just quickly, Dennis, the Dockers, well, Jared Neesham very unhappy with his boys. He thinks they're very soft in that time-on period, wants them to be harder. Terry Wallace spent a lot of time with Scotty Wine instructing him how to play Spider Burter, and thinks Spider's getting the best of him. Pretty warm out here, boys.
First bounce of the second term then. Spider goes up. Darcy had to wait and did pretty well under the circumstances. So Darcy getting first crack at the Spider in this second term. Talked about the crowd before, probably in the high teens at the moment, 18,000 thereabouts, not too many more.
It's been generous.
Romero and Leach not so generous in what they're discussing. niggly game so far. Darcy goes up and spikes it down towards half forward. Kick it in the opposite direction, does well, gets it across to Allen. The bodies go in willingly behind. Allen, meantime, oblivious to all of that, chips it down to Chisholm. Chisholm, who got the opening goal from 75 metres out, goes long down towards Hunter. In from the side down there. The flyer was Darcy. Loose ball behind. Gathered by Dimatina. Dimatina in the back pocket. Works it out wide. Ramiro needs a kindly bounce and gets it. He's forward of half back. A runner inside Liberatore. He hesitated. As a result, forced to put it down to no one in particular. Unkind bounce got by Harding. Wills is run down. Good tackle. Socket off the deck by Hargraves. And across the line it goes. So the Dockers will get the resultant kick. Right half back. There's Hargraves.
Two bad kicks by him in a row. He missed the goal just before quarter time.
There's Jones taking the kick. In short, Spider on fire. Amazing stats. 10th possession. 5 and 5. 5 kicks, 5 hand passes. And Waterhouse, good grab.
Waterhouse short of right half forward. Enigmatic, I think, would describe him best. Liable to be a match winner on some days. Mann works his way to the front. West. Quick hand pass. Ellis. Grant in front of Parker. And right half back, Chris Grant. Goes in short. Leon Cameron has it. 5-2 to 3-1 in the second quarter. Early stages thereof. Brad Johnson, as the Bulldogs try to work it around the centre wing. Wills cannoned into by Darcy. Ball hits the deck. Crosses the line right in the middle of the interchange gates, where Dent is about to come on.
Leon Cameron off. It was well played by Andrew Wills because he realised it was going to be a short pass and just got his body in the way.
So Darcy against Burton this time. Burton wins once more. Well, Allen left it. Collingwood pinched it. Rowan Smith. Yes, beautifully weighted kick to Hargraves. We'll be hoping that he can kick it goal better than he did late in the first quarter. He's right on 50. Should be able to get the distance from there, but the accuracy might be something else. Tyson Lane originally named in the side, but Hargraves lining up instead of him.
What breeze there was, Peach, just dropped a little at the moment.
It's very still, isn't it? And, quite warm, as Adrian said, down there on the boundary, certainly in the sun. That's a better looking kick. He's guided that one through beautifully. That's a goal. So just the start of the Bulldogs.
Bulldogs down by 7 points now. Bucks go at it again. Darcy jumps early. Spider at the second attempt. Nicely done. Feeds it out wide. Taken by Gale. Gale unloads. Spiral down towards full forward. Man behind through his hands. Hasn't been touched. It runs on. Close to the line. Kept alive. Fed back. Well played. Man got it back towards the middle. Here's Waterhouse. He got it from Hunter. And he kicks a goal. Chisholm did brilliantly. All of them did.
Well, again, the importance of Spider Berth in the middle of the ground. Just have his football now there, and he's just asserted himself beautifully in the centre. There was a reason why the ball came forward, and players just misjudging that. And Chisholm cleverly keeps it in. And Mann knew that Chisholm was around him. Somehow knew that Hunter was around him. It's a pretty good snap by Waterhouse.
Sounds surprised, wasn't it?
Well worked out, wasn't it? The draw-off was, yeah. Remarkably well.
Well, I think you said before, he's a bit enigmatic. He's not sure what he's going to do.
He's probably not sure himself. That was a great kick. So a handy goal for the Dockers, kicked by Waterhouse. Vital possession here. The umpire says it's a free kick to the Bulldogs. A throw, I think, yes. Yep. Liberatore. No, he's not going to take it. Jose Ramiro on the end of it. Having a terrific season, Ramiro. A little bit of interference there. The umpire lets it go. Montgomery. Collinyook. Snap across his body. Grant just can't get there. Really stretched the hamstrings to have a go at that mark. And 3 for 1 behind. Bulldog bench. 6-2 to 4-2. Croft and Wind. And I think the other one was Leon Cameron, was it not? So the Dockers out of defence. Now Harding. Kicks across Collinyook. Dimatina. Clement beats him. Clement, time to steady. Could have done better with the kick. Waterhouse did well to get a hand on it. Did even better to get it to Ben Allen. Comes down from Durkay. Taken by Mann.
That was a big get on the wing by Clement, wasn't it?
You had to, you went straight at it, and it was one of those 50-50s, and he won it well.
Peter Mann shot at goal. He's kicked 2 already. The Dockers have answered every challenge so far. They lead by 12 points at the moment. The margin was 13 at quarter time.
It's also pretty well done by Clive Waterhouse. He just found the ball on the ground again, having tried to control it in the air. And a quick feed out to Allen was good.
So Peter Mann, a chance to increase the Dockers lead. 45 metres. He's got the goal. Never in doubt. He kicks his 3rd.
A few years ago I was at work pruning a tree. I guess you could say I kind of fell down on the job. 40 feet onto my back, severing my spinal cord. I don't think people can ever really know what it's like to live your life in a wheelchair. I'm back at work now, teaching my students all about trees and safety. Getting back to work was a way for me to rebuild my life.
Safety. Think it, talk it, work it.
3 goals to Peter Mann, coming back after some recent criticism in the best possible way. Burton goes up and taps it down once more. Shark this time by Dimatina alongside the centre circle, sends the Bulldogs down towards their half-forward line. That's a clever grab, McGovern. Breaking for him is Durkay. Comes in that direction. Durkay now with some time and space. Indecisive. That's ambitious. That's holding the ball. Oh, that was terrible football by Durkay. Montgomery has it. Gets the hand pass off. Dimatina has to wait. Well played. Still Dimatina. Lacking support. Back comes Jones. Jones tries to force it forward. Going in there is Leach. And a whistle. Golden opportunity goes begging for the Dockers. Bounce about 65 metres out. Brett Montgomery, aided by some indecision from Gary Durkay, still played it pretty well. Got a great result there for the Western Bulldogs. Burton in front. Free kick going the other way. It's going against Burton. Well, I thought the bounce turned them around. Darcy, wasting no time, goes long down towards Grant. Why not? He's a wonderful player, Chris Grant. Body to body. Few can beat him. Darcy comes off the ground. Fresh from the Terry Wallace Ruck School, Scotty Wind is back on.
Yes, and Parker initially just a little bit concerned about finding Grant rather than keeping an eye on the ball, but he's going to concede height. So he did the right thing by trying to get the front position and try and bustle him back. That's one of the strengths of Chris Grant, to mark like that.
5 marks to Chris Grant.
And a team high 9 last week. 3 Brownlow votes the last time these two sides played. 30 metres out, gets the goal. Back come the Doggies.
I presume you mean last year, Dennis. You don't have the Brownlow voting for round 1, do you?
Good technical point.
If you do, I want to talk to you afterwards.
Well, I wouldn't be surprised.
The league Read D committee. 7-2 to 5-2. Back to a 12-point ball game. Bulldogs just can't seem to get any closer. Wine, as mentioned, having that rest on the bench early part of this quarter, gets jumped into. Umpire lets it go. West, he'll go off the ground. No one out there except the trainer, so it makes it a foot race. Ball might drop just inside the line. It does. Taken over in the end by Brad Wirra, right in the middle of the interchange gates, and it will be a throw-in. 12 points the difference in favour of Fremantle Dockers. A warm day here at Subiaco. Burton and Wine. Wine takes it, Wills takes him, Liberatore, umpire says, a stalemate, gentlemen. Adrian Barrett has some news for us.
Extremely warm down here. It's having an effect on the players too. Just a bit of info on matchups. Ramiro has a tagging job on Wills, which has been terrific, and Chisholm versus Rowan Smith in the forward line. Very interesting.
Burton, Ellis, and I see Toyer about to come back on too, Adrian, so his eye must be okay.
He's been very keen to go back on. Scotty Chisholm's down prostrate as well.
Dimatina runs out of bounds, does he? He certainly went out, and he took the football with him, according to the boundary umpire. Let's take a look at it again. Foot over the line. Yes, I think that's a pretty well clear cut. Still on centre wing. Oh, gee, Chisholm jumped right into his opponent then. It's going to be a Bulldogs free kick. There's too much doubt about that. So Dimatina, or Smith, kicks to half forward. And there's that man again, Chris Grant. Going back, he's about 70 metres from goal, so not too much chance of kicking it, you would reckon, from there.
Well, they've bottled up the space pretty well, the Dockers. They've jumped into the area in front of both Minton Connell and Hudson.
They're buying some time. He gets it to Collingwood. He probably is further out, but Grant maybe will make a target. Minton Connell, haven't seen much of him. Good mark in front of O'Reilly. Scotty Chisholm also coming off, it looks like, and he's going to be replaced by Winston Abraham. So Simon Minton Connell, only his second kick of the day. He's kicked 41 goals, 25 for the season so far. Certainly a good move by him to come from Hawthorn.
Liberatore and Allen getting involved.
Usually a pretty good kick from about 45 metres. He's just past that mark. Let's see what he can do with this one. I'd say he's dogged it, judging by the crowd reaction. He's got it.
Someday we'll all be together once more.
When all of the ships come back to the shore,
I realize something I've always known. Still calls Australia home.
Getting tight again. Simon Minton Connell, his first goal of the afternoon, immediately off the ground. Goalless last week, it hit the post. Ramiro out of the centre towards half forward. Hudson could have been held there, nothing doing. Kick it. Great judgment to find the ball on the ground. Kicks it up towards half forward, wide of Burton though, hacked out of midair by Dent across to Wills. He was dragged down, gathered by West to Wine, back to West. He's on the wing, goes down towards left half forward. Hudson and or a teammate. Well, let's go to Montgomery. Montgomery in short. And again a couple of Bulldogs. This time they make contact. Ramiro's taken the mark.
Collingwood cleaned him up.
He was about 55 metres out. Can't complain about having the numbers to the last two contests, the Bulldogs. Jose Ramiro, tied for the best and fairest last season. He's going to kick it. The umpire pulling him back around.
Collingwood coming off and Leon Cameron back on.
Ramiro runs wide of the mark now. Sends it very high down towards full forward. Dropping back almost the mark to man. What's he doing down there? And the ball forced through for a behind by O'Reilly.
Spider's gone into the back half. Sorry, the forward half. And Scotty Wine's followed him down.
Ramiro. A little jostling up the ground. Crowd getting involved. Jones has got the ball.
He's going to bring it back to McGovern in the back pocket. McGovern out wide. Harding did well with the sun in his eyes. On to Kickett, who's been busy at right half back. A little chip shot to Mann. Croft cannons into him. Didn't take the mark, and he's going to get the free kick. Mann claims the mark, but there's going to be 50. Well, Ross
paid the free kick, not the mark.
That's right.
And it was Kickett who then fell it on and kicked the ball away. So what's the 50 for?
Everybody's shaking heads in unison up here. Anyway, it's a Dockers kick. That's the important thing. Mann has it. He's kicked 3 goals without a blemish so far, but he's outside 50. Little or no breeze. Evers stands the mark. Pretty close to him. A bad roost. And helped over the line for a rush behind by the Brownlow medalist Scott Wine. Let's take a look at that again. Played the free kick for a high tackle against Croft.
Now, kicker comes over the top. Just kicked away a little bit. He goes to retrieve the ball.
I think it must have come after that, because the umpire was rushing across on the angle to set the mark where the free was. May have been something was said.
So when Smith kicks in, that is out of bounds without being touched. It's going to be a Dockers kick, and it will be taken by Luke Toyer.
Always a good way out, Roscoe, when we don't know. Maybe something was said. The last refuge.
Toyer's first kick. Burton. Hudson, who's already kicked 3 goals. Puts it up towards midfield. Good mark taken by Jones. He lost his strides as he grabbed it. Back into the Dockers lineup. Umpire sets the mark. You're going to have to go back. He goes back. Littrell finds Mann. Mann at midfield. Croft on the mark. Mann goes in short to half forward and finds Parker.
Parker on the line of the square, the attacking side of centre. The next part of the puzzle. Shipping it around so far. Now they send it inside the 50. Burton's in front. Almost the mark. With dash, Smith comes away. Sends it out wide once again. His partner in crime, Johnson, takes the mark. This time at right half back. Johnson.
This is where they miss Chris Grant. If he's going to be playing full forward, they need a kick to someone to kick to a half forward.
Goes up to the wing. Plenty of body work there. Hargraves. His presence felt in front, working against Harding. Hargraves off his step, goes looking for Grant from the side. Sinclair, that's a marvellous mark. Oblivious to all the players charging at him, and Sinclair was one. Grant able to hang on, goes to the pocket, clears Parker, runs on. Montgomery slaps it. It's still a live ball. Hudson held. Play goes on. No free. McGovern comes away. Opportunity now for the Dockers. Abraham takes it and goes. One bounce. Accelerates through the wing. Liberatore in pursuit. Johnson coming across as well. Abraham to half forward. Durkee missed the mark though. Getting back is Dent to Smith. Back come the Bulldogs. Liberatore gets the hand pass away. Taken out there by Johnson. Fumbled by Southern. Southern down towards half forward. Goes back to Johnson. Confronted by Leach. Gets past him. Kicks inside the 50. Watch for Hargraves. In from the side. O'Reilly. Harding. Well, Harding almost stood down in that situation. It bounced off him initially. Took the mark. Some indecision from the players. Man goes in short and finds Leach.
Leach at right half back for the Dockers, repelling the Bulldog thrust onto Harding, who took that well-judged mark just moments back. Harding to Mann, covering plenty of territory, marking in front of Evers. Certainly going to be a survival of the fittest this afternoon in these warm conditions. Contest at half forward, knocked away by Dent. Chisholm went without it. Flip out the front of the pack. Wills dives on it. Comes to Dent again. Ellis over the head of Smith. Cameron back to Ellis. His look-alike. Rura working it around the Bulldogs to try to get something set up. Finally, Liberatore. Croft. Strong hands in front of Parker. Croft from left half forward. Grant his target. O'Reilly, a good contest. O'Reilly gets a hand to it and just knuckles it out of bounds in the left forward pocket for the Bulldogs. They trail at the moment 7-3 to 6-3. Boundary throw in. Difference at quarter time was 13 points in favour of the home side. Hargraves up high. Hudson pinned. Harding doing some useful work in defence. Mann. Well, gee, almost a free kick there to Johnson. The umpire says no, and that's out of bounds. Now it's going to be a free kick to the Dockers. Going to be taken by Gale.
He was definitely held first, Johnson. How the umpire misses that?
Gale to Leach. Leach is on right centre wing. As we approach the 6-minute mark of the second quarter. 6 minutes to go.
Anthony coming off the ground. Meantime, around the other side, Leach. Chisholm opts out of the contest. Wills was up. In front, Smith getting busy. Goes to Johnson again. So often the way. Hand passes out wide. Dimatina quickly on. Nicely played. Cameron breaks away down towards left half forward. Pulls it back towards the middle. Montgomery very high. Crashing his way in was Hargraves. Picked up by Hudson. A dangerous forward. Gives it to Croft. 25 metres out. Scores a level.
Tuesday, venture behind the conflict for the untold story from Cambodia.
The emerging mafia.
We've had 6 journalists assassinated.
In his first report for the Witness program, Neil Mercer meets the man who financed the coup
that threatens to undermine
and reveals the Australian connection deep in this land of whispered deals. Plus John Gray, the former monk, making millions from the simple idea that men are from Mars, women from Venus.
Then suddenly I started having relationships with women. They really were like from another planet.
On Witness Tuesday.
Dimatina off the ground, looks a little bit distressed.
He's had a bit of a nickel in the hammy, and Anthony Jones is a bit sore too.
Well, the warm conditions may take their toll. As I said, it might be a survival of the fittest. Now, this man's been dangerous. Hudson, he's kicked 3, had a hand at another, and that's his first minor blemish. He's put it through for 1 behind. Paul Hudson, so 3 goals, 1 against his name. And the Bulldogs lead, I think, for the first time today, 7-4 to 7-3. Adrian on the boundary. What's the news down there with injuries?
It's a bit of a casualty ward, isn't it? We've got Dimatina who's strained his hamstring by the look of it, and Jones who's may have torn his thigh, both getting treatment. And the warm conditions, as you said, Peter, really starting to take effect.
Thanks, Adrian.
Scotty Chisholm off too, Pete, and Heath Black back on.
Now kick it from McGovern's kick. Nicely weighted up to Winston Abraham, short of right half forward. Abraham's also spent a little bit of time on the bench. Hunter leads out strongly. Oh, a little bit too casual, was it? He should have taken that. He was there in plenty of time, got both hands to it, but couldn't hold the mark. Wind against Spider. Dent from Smith up towards midfield. Awkward bounce. Montgomery traps it nicely. Clement, beautifully done. Clement inside the square. Spears the pass in towards right half forward. Heath Black, youngster from the Oakley Chargers. Long bomb up towards a contest at full forward. That's a better mark, Hunter. Made a move of one a little while back, and that was Ross, probably the harder of the two.
It certainly was. The last couple of times he's gone for the ball, Pete, he seems to have made his mind up what he's going to do it once he's got it. In fact, hasn't taken it in the first place. So that previous drop mark was not good.
Now will he run around? He's kicked the goal. The Dockers back in front. 4 minutes to half-time.
Well, plaudits to come back to James Clement across half-back, who just attacked the football and broke through a tackle and was able to set up Heath Black, who just probably backed himself in that situation to kick a goal, but the ball just going across the face a little. Terrific mark and then conversion from Hunter. Just the 3 kicks and 2 goals, so a similar return to what he had last week in terms of stats.
Dockers by 5 points. Let's go at it. Wine got fingertips to it. Toya claimed. Falls at their feet. A man in the outer, Jeff White. Jeff, how do you read it at the moment?
Oh, it's very. It's good to see our backlines attacking the game. You know, in past weeks we haven't been attacking the game. We've been going out wide. We've been going down the centre as James Clement did before, and it resulted in a goal.
Notice Grant's come up the ground now. Steve's gone with him. Steve O'Reilly. Here's the bounce alongside the centre circle. Wine knocks it down. Liberatore, as always, intent on digging it out. West tumbles a kick towards half forward. Parker leads in the race. Knocked away by Collinook. Croft with strength. Run down from behind. Well, almost, then gave it away. Leach lacking support. Gets it across to Spider. Burton needing someone as well. Clement is grabbed from behind. Grant terrific, working overtime there. Applied about 3 tackles. Eventually Leach has it, gave it away. Back to Montgomery. Montgomery 70 metres out, tugs it around the corner. Harding didn't touch the ball, waiting behind Hudson. Knocks it back towards the middle. O'Reilly just stuck away. Taken by Kickett. Sweeping hand pass out wide to Gale. Allen is running hard. Coming up to meet him is Dent. Dent claims him now. That's marginal.
Was he off or was he not?
Well, I'm not sure he was, but he'd taken the mark. And Dent put him down, so a bit each way. He probably was motoring on. Abraham, meantime, big leap around the outer side. Johnson to West, goes looking for Dent on a collision course. Kick it, got him. Dent is down and hurt. Clement away from half back. Chips it out wide. Abraham's got it now. Dent's man. Abraham with a spare man inside as a result. Thinks about going to Waterhouse and should have. Kicks down towards full forward. Missed it through for a behind. Abraham, the wrong decision there. And some serious debates between the two players involved. Abraham and Waterhouse. Watch that collision again. And Kickett, I think, decided that Dent was a better target than the footy. Dent has a history in this game, so you can understand that Kickett figures the ledger may be square now. Meantime, Smith having a terrific game.
He is, Dennis. Smith kicks to centre wing. O'Reilly and Grant. Long hand pass by the key defender. This is Black. Good turn of speed. Black with the left.
Oh.
Badly weighted kick. Wira read it superbly to take the mark over Allen. Goal the difference. Leon Cameron. Oh, terrible kick by the Bulldogs veteran. Gives Parker the opportunity. Gets crunched by Croft. Kick it from the back. Cameron again. See if he can make a better fist of this kick. You'd expect him to, and he does. Kicks up towards Hargraves. That's a strong mark in front of Harding. Kicked a goal from a similar position earlier in the quarter. It's too far out this time, you'd reckon. It's a decent sort of a chance into the goal square. Grant in front, but punched through by O'Reilly for a rush behind. And the Bulldogs player down in the hands of the trainer still is Croft.
Scott West has been brought off for a breather. He's just chatting to the coach on the phone there, and Di Martina's back on. We'll see how that hammy holds up.
McGovern to Harding in the back pocket. That's how the Dockers work it out of defence. It's going to go back the other way, as they so often do. Back to McGovern, so they've really gained nothing. Grant on the mark. McGovern runs off. Long kick by the former Sydney Swan. And that's okay. The mark is turned out there by Leach. And the spine of the ground. That's better. Black. Big left footer. Waterhouse. Oh, what a mark! Well, he can do some amazing things, Waterhouse. Onto Abraham, who marks. And maybe 50. No.
It's almost like Clive Waterhouse had gone for a jump and could see that he wasn't going to get it. He just put his head down and the arm up. The ball stuck with it. Watch this again. Man shuffling. He just took his eye off it. The ball stuck in there.
Well, he doesn't bear a grudge because it was Abraham who didn't get the ball to him a couple of minutes ago. He's gone straight to Abraham.
A chance to increase the Dockers' lead, which currently is 5 points. Clock. Only seconds remaining to half-time, so probably the last play of the half. And in fact it is. Another kick on the siren at that end. This time a conversion. Hargraves missed at quarter time. Abraham doesn't at half-time. And that increases the Dockers' lead to 11 points after it was 13 points at the first change. 9-4-58, 7-5-47.
Better quarter by the Bullies when they went forward. They looked a bit more purposeful, and Grant at full forward, alternating up there more often than he was at centre half forward. Hargraves going there at a pretty potent attack. Hudson proved to be a player just feeding the ball to Grant, Minton, Connell, Hargraves and Croft to set up some goals. So it's a pretty good tourney so far, and the physicality's gone out of the game a little bit now. Both sides settling down and playing the footy.
Still very testy in there, though, Ross. The umpire's just getting between the two groups of players as they're coming off the ground. The umpire's very conscious of forming a wall there. As you can see, things are simmering. The Dockers with that late goal so important. Scotty Wine trying to rev his teammates up. The Bulldogs, such a good season so far. Made the point coming in. They've travelled well. Important game for them here. To finish, well, in the top two ideally, but in the top four as well. Their run home isn't that easy. The Dockers, they're fighting for their football survival. They've led at both breaks. Plenty of emotion in both camps and a lot more, you figure, to come at Subiaco Oval. Ben Allen, last man into the rooms. Spider Burton, terrific in that first half in the centre square as far as the Dockers are concerned, and possibly he's been the key man in this lead of 11 points. Half time at Subi. Look at that sky. 9-4-7-5.
People make fun of you because you're fast, because you wear Zoom Air. Well, let's turn.
Half time at Subiaco Oval. Good game of football, this one, and the Dockers lead by 11 points after they led by 13 at quarter time. Peter Mann has put up 3 goals. Scotty Chisholm has got 2, and for the Western Bulldogs, Paul Hudson has been in very good form. He's booted 3. North Melbourne have lost their last 3 games. They're in trouble. They're playing Melbourne at the MCG this afternoon. Let's take a look at some of the action.
It's the first kick. Bell gets it out of the middle, clears the centre square. The punch from behind's discipline. A hurried kick by Shoulder, full forward. Punch down to the front. McKernan feeds off and, well, Pike ducked the tackle and got the goal. Clarkson, centering kick, 35 metres out. Oh, Sean Smith! Magnificent mark.
He's got it. So he's running towards the centre wing area. Did he run too far? The umpire said no. He was taking little steps now. Glenn Lovett
in trouble now. Martin's up the ground.
Well, away with it is David Schwartz. He drives it high, but there's no one back there. It has to bounce through. Will it? Yes! Well done, David Schwartz. I think this is a goal. Listen to the crowd. Would have been better off kicking the centre wing. Carey receives from Stevens on to Roberts. Roberts. Oh, Scholl should mark this at the back. Yes, had his name written all over it. So Scholl from directly in front for North Melbourne's third, and it's right through the middle. Uze did that very, very well. Griggins, well played. He goes short, and he's found Pyman. There's Pyman driving a goal. Have a look at that. You wouldn't believe it. It's a goal.
8 possessions to Swash. To half forward. Good climb by Seatkamp, and then crunched into his teammate. Simpson back to Carey. Carey's pass. Look at the disposal to Roberts. Roberts, 40 metres out. And it's close. Too hard to call. A goal.
Against McKernan. Taken by Mark Roberts. Well played. Oh, big punch away. Back it comes towards Crocker. He went without it. Out it comes to Neitz from Brett Lovett. Taken by Robert Scott. Back in front of goal. Oh, here's a goal coming up. Scholl. He brings it in towards half forward. Thump the ground. Grabbed by Peter Bell. The little fella's on the boundary line. Can he thread it through? Oh, what a goal. Brilliant stuff.
Back in round 1, Melbourne defeated North Melbourne by 15 points. If you don't want to know the score this afternoon, I suggest you look away now. Half time at Subi. The Dockers lead it by 11 points. We'll be back shortly. So the Fremantle Dockers coming in with a record of 7-8. Lead at the half by 11 points. Peter Mann very good in that opening half. As we said during the commentary, has been the subject of a lot of criticism. Fighting back today in the best possible fashion. Winston Abraham getting his goal right after the siren. Paul Hudson very good for the Bulldogs. Joined by Ross Glendinning now. And Ross, the Bulldogs had their chances, but every time the Dockers seem to have them covered.
Yeah, they've just got that extra target up forward with both Hunter and Mann, as you mentioned, and then they've had those other players around like Chisholm and Abraham to complement them, but they've been a bit more direct today. The Bulldogs at quarter time had more of the ball, but just couldn't convert, and they rely so much on Chris Grant, don't they? So he's the go-to man when they go forward, so he's been half forward and full forward. I'd rather see him stay at centre half forward.
How about that goal? Paul Hudson on the run, and Wilsey somewhere in the front row.
Well, 3 in the first quarter, Hudson. This is where good effort by Chisholm to keep the ball in play, and just good awareness by both Mann, then Kingsley Hunter, and then back to Waterhouse, who's surprised. He's done some good things, but...
How do you know which Waterhouse you're going to get? That's the problem for the selectors, isn't it?
Well, I'm not sure that he knows himself, with all due respect to Clive. There's just days when he just he seems to know where to go, and other days he seems completely lost and looks like a foreigner to the game. So it's a difficult one. But the half-back line of the Dockers has been pretty good on their rebound, and Crofty's been on off the ground a bit, but that's a good goal by him in that second quarter. The physicality of the game has been maintained a little, but not quite as strong early. Some of the Dockers players need to learn how to use their body. They've gone in and try and square the ledger, but really haven't done much about it.
One possession, the difference there in total.
Yes, and I think the key also for the Dockers has been Spider Burton in the middle of the ground.
Yes, 13 possessions so far for a man that size. That's remarkable, isn't it?
Particularly against a quality opponent like Scotty Wine and Luke Darcy coming off the bench as well, so he's done very, very well.
And he's tapping the ball down, and he's getting kicks around the ground.
The direction of his players, he's getting kicks around the ground, been very effective.
We like his game so far. The Dockers by 11 points. We'll be back shortly. It's got the makings of a good game, this one. 9-4 Fremantle, 7-5 the Western Bulldogs, and we've learnt this season the Bulldogs won't throw it away. They'll keep coming. As Fremantle made of the right stuff. Looking back at the numbers so far in the first half. As we saw at half-time, both sides getting plenty of the ball. Individually, let's take a look at the Dockers first half.
Pretty even spread there, and Greg Harding, a player that we didn't mention it. The other chat we had, he's been very good in his area, fullback, back pocket, half-back flank, just gives him some attacking skill out of there. And Clive Waterhouse, those stats there just showing that he can get it, just as he'll do it consistently.
Both sides on the ground together as we go down to Terry Wallace with Adrian.
Terry, thanks again. You're down, but what can you do in the second half here? What will make the difference?
I thought we worked our way back into the game in the midstream of the second quarter. Obviously, those last 2 goals were fairly costly, and it's just a matter of finishing off the game and working. I mean, obviously, 2-goal games, nothing between the two sides, and our guys have just got to be prepared to really work to the line.
This warm weather, do you think it's had some sort of effect yet, or may have an effect in the second half?
I've got no doubt it will, and it really then becomes a rule of strong minds, and we've always been a fairly fit side, and hopefully we can work through that.
Finally, Matthew Spider Burton causing a few problems for you.
I thought he was an absolute dominant player early in the match. I thought Windy just started to wind him in a little bit towards the end of the quarter then when we brought him back on, but obviously he's been a very dominant player.
Good on you, Terry. All the best.
That's great to see Terry Wallace talking with us. His side came onto the ground. Some of the star performers there. Incidentally, Terry, there's a throat that's done some work. You can tell that at half-time. Needs an ice pack for that throat as the coach.
Rowan Smith's been busy, predictably, Dennis.
Terrific. Wonderful player. A real emerging star with the Western Bulldogs.
Hudson, dangerous, close to goal. Kick 3, had a hand at another, which he gave ultimately to Croft.
And Hargroves too was 6 kicks, 4 marks, just trying to give them something across half forward to compliment Chris Grant.
Where will Chris Grant start, do you reckon?
Well, I'd like to see him stay at centre half forward, Pete. I think sometimes when you go to half forward and he's not there, I mean, certainly Hargraves stepped up a couple of times, but I'd rather see Grant start at centre half forward and stay there.
Our man on the outer is Jeff White. Jeff, did you get into the rooms at half-time?
Yeah, I did actually. Yeah, there was a lot of talk in the rooms. Peter Mann was pretty fired up and trying to fire the boys up, and just said plenty of talk when you're tired, plenty of talk, and we'll get through this game.
What was the thrust of what Gerard had to say? Where did he take the team?
Actually, I wasn't the ladder in there, so but he was pretty happy, and just hopefully that the boys can follow his orders and take the game out.
So if you're a betting man, Jeff, which way would you go, having been in the rooms at half-time with the Dockers? I know you weren't in with the Bulldogs, but the attitude and the feeling in there?
Yeah, very positive. A good first half by the players. They were very happy about it, and hopefully they can just take it out. Hopefully the back line can stand up and the forward line can kick some goals.
Good on you, Jeff. Jeff White down on the boundary. A man in the outer and in the rooms.
Chris Grant will start at centre half forward with Shane Parker picking him up.
We've got more men on the boundary and more men in the rooms than you can poke a stick at. Adrian is down on the fence. Adrian.
And Dennis, very happy to be here too. Magnificent conditions still. The Dockers it's going to go down to the wire, I think. I think I'll leave it there.
Okay. Well, we make our journey towards that wire, beginning here. Wine goes up, knocks it down. Wills fell over a teammate. May have been Spider. I think he got Spider on the way through. Spider comes up holding his head. Meantime, the ball towards the half-forward line for the Bulldogs. O'Reilly could have been held without it. This is Croft. Well done. Croft, always a hard worker, tries to get it across to another very hard worker in Libba. Liberatore dives on top of it, and we've got a whistle. Oh.
Housemates just tangling up.
A Spider that was stood on. About 60 metres out from goal then. Here's the bounce from umpire Scroop. Wind. His pride would have been pricked at half-time. Liberatore, Brownlow medalist to Brownlow medalist. Kick down towards the kick-off line. Hudson, the dangerous man on the forward line, is slung that time. The Dockers get there in number and tie it up effectively enough. Simon Minton-Connell still cooling his heels in the foreground. Leon Cameron. Meantime, there's this bounce about 20 metres out from goal. Darcy and Burton. Toya hammers it through for a behind. First score of the second half.
Rush behind. So the difference back to 10 points early in the third quarter. McGovern to Wills. And quite often they go back to McGovern when he kicks off. And they're going to do it again. Try to break to the other side. Runs around in circles. And a couple of bounces. Well, the plan worked that time, if that's what the plan was. Over the head of Waterhouse, for whom it was probably intended. Dent. Waterhouse slips over at the crucial moment. Still recovers well. Oh, another bounce. Long bomb. Up to the 50-metre line. Hunter has to punch away from Crediuk. There's a whistle. And it's going to be a Bulldogs free kick. Rowan Smith has the football, but it's not going to be his kick. Crediuk to Wirra. Pocket player. Hunter gives chase. Clement and Southern. Clement tries it one-handed. Southern grab. Abraham tries to get it to Clement. Abraham comes up with a football. Well played. Winston Abraham, long kick in towards the 10-metre square. Wind up in front of the pack. Dimitina. Rowan Smith. Durkay after him. Dent at right half back.
Crediuk stand behind play too, Pete.
Gale. The one short.
Wine should be too tall. And is. Had the run, had the sit on man. And Crediuk in the hands of the trainers. Let's see what happened to number 35 for the Bulldogs.
Landed heavily on his back, Pete.
So probably just winded. We'll keep our eye on him. In the meantime, the kick comes up towards centre wing position. Waterhouse takes it over the boundary line. No penalty from the umpire.
Smelly Wine was fantastic there, Pete, because they were a man short and he positioned himself between the two.
That's right.
Then got across to man and actually got the ball. It was more than the Bulldogs rightfully could have expected from that situation. Hunter and man. Covered by Wine. Toya, meantime, gets it to Black. Black somehow got through. Well played. He'll want his left side. That's the problem there. Comes back around. Hooks it towards the kick-off line. Not much of a problem. Dent in from the side. Loose ball behind. Southern is there. Well played. Daniel Southern hitting it hard. Durkay claiming there was a boot in there. Didn't see one. Boundary throw in. Fremantle's bench. Con Regan in the foreground. Alongside him, the youngster Sinclair. And the veteran Allen. Durkay somehow misses. Did the hard work. Got the ball. Missed the goal.
Very similar to the one that Scotty Chisholm kicked early in the first quarter, wasn't it?
Yep.
Different result, though. 59-48. The difference 11 points. It seems to have been about that margin all day. 13 points at quarter time, 11 at half time. Bulldogs just can't get much closer. Hudson to Smith, who's always busy. Crediuk seems to have recovered. He's a pretty tough nut. Darcy from O'Reilly. Looks for someone going through. Dent. Croft in front. McGovern at the back. Did well. Liberatore spins out of trouble. Dimitina to Croft. Kicked a goal in the second quarter. This one might be a bit tougher. It bounces, and it bounces through. What's he done? He's kicked a goal.
What do you reckon? That's not so bad. Light ice, mate. Perfect. Oh, that's the worst of it, to be honest then.
Well, the Bulldogs are having a wonderful season, and this is the reason why. Almost every weekend out there working hard. Wine gets it down. Ramiro out of the middle, floats one towards half forward. Darcy intent on the body and catches the ball. O'Reilly comes up quizzically looking at the umpire. Nothing doing. Darcy miscues through the hands of Leach. It runs down to Montgomery. Forgettable football there. Montgomery had it tapped away. Great defence by Chisholm. Little pirouette out of trouble. Now choreographs his run up to half-back to kick it. O'Reilly surrounded by Bulldogs. Not the best option holding the ball. Pickett needed to do exactly that. Liberatore will get the ball. The line up to square the attacking side of centre.
A good example of that extra handball too many.
Liberatore goes out very wide, intended for Darcy, closing on him Chisholm, and the mark to stand. Luke Darcy from 60 off his step down towards full forward. Grant over the top. Croft may have spoiled his teammate. Wine dives in with great courage to Croft. Can he get another one? Kickett did well, got fingertips on the body, and that was enough to affect the kick. Grant, Hudson goes in solidly, gets it across to Johnson, right on the goal line like a soccer goalie there. Parker able to deflect it through. Conceding a behind, 8-7-9-5.
A couple of terrifically desperate efforts there. Scotty Wine and then Hudson to try and keep the ball in the area.
McGovern again. Goes long this time out of bounds. Not touched. So West will take the free kick. 4 points the difference. Former best and fairest winner, Scott West, into the goal square. Grant his target. Couldn't quite reef it in. Toya had caught one at the opening bounce. Grant to Croft. Lovely ball. Tripped. The umpire speaking to Toya. Grant comes in. No point doing anything more than just getting back to take the kick. 50 metres. Accidental. Do accidents count?
Yep. Well, he's going to be booked too.
Not a great day for Luke. Got KO'd virtually at the first bounce. He's got a black eye. He's got reported. He's given away a free kick.
And he's called that a deliberate trip, has he?
Yes.
With the leg.
Yeah. And if that's the case, you get 50 metres and you get booked.
Well, it was the leg and the hand, Dennis. I mean, I think he threw a hand as well, but anyway, he's been pinged for deliberate tripping anyway.
So Croft, chance to kick his third and second for the quarter, which he does. Well, the Bulldogs in front. Montgomery off.
Almost looks as if he just flipped to the ground as Cameron came on. He went to ground as Croft came towards him. I don't think he had many options.
So the report is automatic.
Yeah.
On the trip.
So here we go. And Toya comes at him. We actually went to ground, so it was.
There's one for the tribunal. That will be a minefield, that one.
Good luck with that. As Chisholm is off and Jess Sinclair on.
More importantly, the Bulldogs with that goal have grabbed the lead. They're up by 2 points. There's Scotty Chisholm as we go down to Adrian Barrage.
Just an injury update. The Dockers have left Anthony Jones in the rooms with some sort of nerve problem in his leg. And on Lukey Toya, he is apparently still dazed, so that might be a good defence at the tribunal.
All the reason to have him out there. Wine knocks it down. Liberatore mowed down. Here's Johnson. You get the feeling the Western Bulldogs have got a sniff right here. Ramiro taken on front on McGovern. Very good tackle under the circumstances. Wills met over the boundary line. Down goes Darcy. Should get a kick. Nothing doing. Umpire Scroop saw it all. Didn't pay anything. So they'll be thrown in. I'm not sure Darcy was putting that one on. I thought he was pushed substantially. There's McGovern.
Blood rule.
He's coming off under the blood rule, yes. So plenty happening at the moment here at Subiaco Oval. And McGovern, one of their most reliable defenders, comes off at a bad time because they're under pressure here. Allen comes back on. Bulldogs making a run at this game. You sense it now. The tempo has just increased in the last couple of minutes. They're seeking men out to run into. They've got the appetite for it.
The moment Allen came on, Liberatore came off Toya and went to Allen. And Brad Johnson's now going to run with Toya.
Tossed in. Wine directs it down. Leach has got it, though, from half back towards the wing. Man works his way in front, held by the arm. That's a great mark. That was a very good mark. He wasn't going to get a free kick either. He had a perfect angle on that one, directly down in front of us. There goes Man. Long inside the 50. They queue up to the Bulldogs, and Scotty Wine plucks it. The big man plays on. Smith, so often the man who kicks it out for them because he's precise, goes looking for Cameron, who didn't have the ball. He'll get the free kick.
Oh, definitely a free kick. In fact, he almost held the mark. Finds him in there and was definitely retarded there.
Leon Cameron inside the centre square. Inside up by 2 points. It's a warm day in Perth. Ellis inside the centre circle. Unloads inside the 50. Mitten Connell was up. O'Reilly timed his leap. Down in front, Clement got the hand pass away to Gale. Gale a looping hand pass. Kick it. Brilliantly done. Chips it up towards the wing and Durkay. Now a chance for the Dockers to run at the Bulldogs. Kick inside the 50. Hunter on the lead. That's better. Kingsley Hunter. I don't think distance will be a problem from here. It's a question of accuracy. Just over 12.5 minutes to three-quarter time.
Yeah, great play by Dale. Kickett knew he's under pressure and the ball was coming toward him. Just arched his back and got around. Then Hunter held his lead to the right moment. It was well done.
Has won this afternoon. That makes for 18 on the season. Coming off 7 last week, or rather 2 this afternoon. Makes for 19. And no addition here as he slides it across the face.
One point the difference. Plenty happening on the benches of both sides today. Conditions taking their toll. Dent bombs it long, looks for Wine or Grant, or Darcy it was rather, in front. Neither could bring it down. The umpire said it's my ball, gentlemen. He's going to ball it up halfway between the square and the 50-metre line. Burton had such a great influence on the game in the first quarter and a half. Wins that one. Toya tries to burrow in. Oh, Leach goes in. Still a bit happening in there. It's tough in the clinches today here at Subiaco. I will ball it up again. Same spot. Wind against Burton. West bounces it up towards the centre circle. Kick it. It's around West. Black loses it. West, second chance. Black's down and he looks hurt. Darcy on his own marks it right centre wing. Clement stands the mark. Darcy up towards Cameron. Couldn't mark it. Croft. Long looping hand pass back to Darcy. Smith needs to run onto it. The ball eludes him. He takes Leach out in the process and the umpire says throw it in. Could have been a free kick there, but I suppose Darcy didn't get one on this wing, so some consistency there. That's Black. As I said, he looked hurt, and he is. Still in the hands of the trainers as we have a throw in. Neither ruckman gets a fist to it. Belted away by Toya ultimately. Clement gets it back. Oh, kick comes up by Kickett. Dockers looking dangerous again. Durkay. Southern. A little give to Credium. Knocked to the ground by Man. Tried to find Winston Abraham. Couldn't do so. It will be thrown in left half forward flank for Fremantle. 70 metres from goal.
Adrian Barrage down on the boundary.
Yes, Dennis, injury update. Andrew McGovern is fine, just a little scratch. Scotty Chisholm having his back worked on. I don't know how he's going to go. And the Bulldogs have definitely lifted their rating in terms of their aggressiveness at the ball and for the tackle.
Black has got a sense of humour. He kicks it straight up in the air. Dent comes over the top. Dimartina controlled it brilliantly. Arches the back and runs away up towards the wing. Feeds it back inside. 50-50 ball. Gale wanted it most. Gale coming away from the wing. Probing kick inside the 50. Hunter. How important was that? West and Gale going at the ball. Gale full-chested, won it, and spotted Hunter.
It was similar to the effort that James Clement had in the first quarter. Another 50-50. And then to finish off like that, spot on. Black will come off with a cork in the top of the backside there. I think McGovern back on.
Hunter, another chance to kick his third goal right here. Kicked 4 last time these two sides met. That stands as the record for a Docker against the Western Bulldogs. Good looking kick. He can kick it a long way. Kingsley Hunter puts the Dockers back in front.
Hey. You know, you guys, you seem a little down tonight. Tell you what, let's all get together and recite the oath of acceptance.
I am fast. I am abnormally fast. But I will not hide my speed.
I will flaunt it. I will get naked and roll around in it. Hey, Kenny, you've got to be part of the group, because if you're not, then we can't. Oh, good. That's why we're here.
Good effort by young Gale to get it down to Kingsley Hunter too. I was talking to his father Terry at half-time. He seemed pleased with his son's efforts. Spider Burton's efforts in the first half were sensational. Up towards full forward again. Wira brushes the tackle of Sinclair. Kicks towards centre wing. Johnson sits nicely for him. The Bulldogs want the quick reply. Leach chasing. Another bounce. Johnson has a look over his shoulder. Grant comes in for the Shepherd. Kick could have been better. Hudson taken down by Kickett and taken over the line where it will be thrown in.
It's important, Split, sorry, if someone coming towards you, you're running down the ground like that, the ball on the kick was actually just touched, so that's why it was a bit of a fumble.
Half forward for $10 in the poor box. Western Bulldogs. Dimartina flips it up. Grant snaps. One behind. So 4 points the difference. Let's see if that did touch the post. I tell you what, Ross, if it did touch it, it just shaved it.
Bit hard to tell from here, but isn't it?
No. Not for mine. But then again, we're a fair way from there. Parker has the mark. 66 plays 62. In favour of the home side. Toya keeping an eye on proceedings, literally. Don't think he can see out of one of them. McGovern around Dimartina. Back to Toya. Onto Leach. Back to Parker as they run it out of defence well, the Dockers. Parker's kick towards centre wing. Good punch away by Wira. Doesn't clear the boundary line though. Kick it. Mops up well. Good gather up towards half forward. Marking contest. Southern. Great skills. Pressure as he kicks. Will it be over the line? Marked by Clement. Bulldogs free kick. Grant taken out of the contest. Chris Grant. Would they love a couple of him? So would any side. 7 marks today. Grant's kick towards left half forward. Target Croft well out of the contest. Gee, that's a mark, isn't it?
It is.
Man has it. Wills is trying to break away, but the umpire had paid the mark. He's gone out wide. McGovern back onto the ground after having to leave the field for a blood rule. Onto Harding. Little gift to Gale. Gale short of left centre wing. Kicks up towards half forward for the Dockers. Wills is there. West. Allen tried to go off the ground. Liberatore, good gather. Back to Wira. Bulldogs under siege at the moment. Wira needs somebody to take a mark at half back, and he finds Danny Southern.
Southern awarded 50.
Waterhouse coming back on the mark. That's right, Dennis. Coming back on the mark has been asked by the umpire, Chris Mitchell.
Daniel Southern to centre field then. Dockers by 4 points. Testing day for the players, this one. Southern inside the 50. In from the side, the mark is held down there by Peter Mann. Great judgment. Sinclair wants it on the wing. Mann goes shorter though. Squares the ball, O'Reilly. Sinclair is still on. O'Reilly ignores that. There's some danger. Comes back to the middle and Mann. Now Parker is free. Parker's got it. Forward of right half back. Taking a while to build this one. Parker. Indecisive, kicks it down towards half forward. Waterhouse in front, almost the mark. Liberatore has been terrific in this term. Gathers the ball and proceeds to give it away. Like young Gale, an emerging player. Great disposal. Allen's got it about 40 metres out.
The crowd's looking for 50, but it's not on.
Mark Gale, mark that name down. Something about him. Set up this opportunity. Ben Allen for a kick from right on the 50. Has won this afternoon. This for a buffer. He's missed. Behind. It increases the lead. Margin now is 5 points.
5 points in favour of the Dockers. Rowan Smith is going to kick in. Under 6 minutes to three-quarter time. Cameron in the pocket in front of Sinclair. Needs to be accurate. I thought the marker was taken. The umpire says no. Chance for Gale. He didn't seem to hold it long enough. Hudson off the ground. The big spider. Great gather onto Mann. Abraham left half forward. Could make them pay. Great skills from Abraham. Kicks into the mat on the mark, which was wide. Dent gives it back to the Brownlow medalist. Tackled by Sinclair, ineffective and out of bounds. So throw it on centre wing. Goal here to either side, vital as we tick down towards three-quarter time. The Dockers have led at every change. Wind and Mann. One by Mann, down to kick it. Toya taken down by West. Ramiro taken high. West. Wills. Now Leach. Oh, he was taken high as well. They put the whistles away, the umpire. Kick it towards half forward. No mark to Ellis. The Bulldogs are under siege at the moment. Allen runs into West. Great tackle. Bit happening off the ball to Wirra. A bounce. Keep your eyes on the footy, fellas. Toya tried to give the Waterhouse. Oh, some tunnel ball. That's a throw. The advantage, yes, they let it go. Rowan Smith. Still Smith. Can the Bulldogs get a goal? Almost Hargraves. Clement. Good tackle by Grant. Onto Parker. Long looping hand pass and he finds Gale.
Chisholm is on down the ground. Chisholm can take this one and go. Chisholm, one bounce. A premature bounce, takes too long, will almost. Kicks inside the 50. He'll direct it pretty up close to the boundary line. Hugs the line with a kick, finds Dimatina. This game has suddenly got very personal. A lot of feeling in this one.
It's a poor kick by Chisholm.
Dimatina up towards the wing. No mark taken. Weaving without it was Cameron. At the base of that Ramiro. Man working hard against him. Jose's got it, going nowhere. A whistle and a ball up. Dockers by 5 points. 10-7, 9-8. 3.5 minutes till three-quarter time. Free kick now is plucked out of this. It's going the Bulldogs' way. Jose Ramiro to take it. 16th possession, Ramiro. Now towards half forward. Croft is there. Had it knocked away by Harding. McGovern at the base of it. It is very tough and willing. And we've got a ball up once more. Umpire Scroop goes across this time. As you'd expect, so much on the line for both these clubs this afternoon. Being played accordingly. Never any doubt about the Bulldogs playing this way. And the Dockers are going step for step with them. There's the bounce. Wide. Gets it down to Smith. Flicks it away to Cameron. Cameron kicks inside the 50. Grant, magnificent. Held by the arm, takes the mark.
Is that his 9th mark?
Yep. He struck a rare vein of form. 9 marks last week, again today. You get the feeling watching this game as Cameron heads for the dugout to be replaced by Montgomery. You get the feeling watching this game that this man really, Chris Grant, will loom large in how it pans out. Important kick. This for the lead if it's a goal. Grant likes it. It's close. It's good.
Did you know it can take 20 years to grow a bonsai? Grass grows at around 1 millimetre every 12 hours. But at McDonald's, it only takes 61 seconds to get yourself a free Big Mac.
At McDonald's, we think our service is pretty hard to beat. So we'll give you a voucher for a free Big Mac if your meal isn't served within 60 seconds.
Anything yet, Brian?
Should be too long now.
McDonald's 60-second challenge. Your meal in a minute or a free Big Mac.
2 minutes to three-quarter time, and the Bulldogs lead by 1 solitary point. Burton and Wind, won by the latter, tried for Ramiro, couldn't find him, kick it, little give to Allen, back to the Spider. Man says take it. There might be a free kick here going to the Dockers. Someone was held. So Kickett gets the free. Important possession here, Southern nearly. Dockers with the numbers, Waterhouse! What can he do this time? Over to Abraham, who kicks and kicks through. Dockers back in front. Abraham's first. Well, you hold your breath when Waterhouse goes near it, don't you? But he's been pretty good today.
Yes, the kicker did the right thing too. Had the chance to play on no one standing the mark. Got it down long. Southern nearly a mark. And then just the opportunity. Waterhouse breaking the tackle. Probably could have kicked the goal himself. Abraham gets the unselfish hand pass and puts his team back in front.
Abraham got the goal, but Dale Kickett was magical in the build-up back in midfield. He is uncanny, Dale Kickett. Play restarts. Dockers up by 5 points. Gets it down to Burton. Wills the meat and the sandwich. He's hurt. Ball wanders out towards the wing and west. The Bulldogs want the lead back before three-quarter time. There's a box run in the middle. Wills is outnumbered. It's a tag team against him. Meantime, the ball's out of bounds. Wind and Ramiro taking on Wills.
It's a bit ugly, that.
Yep. I'm not sure Wills didn't get up and go after Jose Ramiro.
You read that well. That's exactly what happened. Went after Wind.
Should be a detective. Oh, well, I got the wrong bloke, did I?
Yeah, so you had the wrong bloke. Fingerprinted.
Out of bounds. There's the man we're dusting for Prince. Andrew Wills.
Might be a few there.
Check that head first. Get the powder out. So a boundary throw in. Willsie's not happy. It's tossed in. Wind's in front. Knocks it down. Grant didn't have it. Close to the boundary line. He was held a long time. Chris Grant, he'll get the free. 1:20 till three-quarter time. The Champs got the ball on the outer side. The Dogs are down by 5 points. And the joiners jumping this afternoon. Not a big crowd, but they've certainly found voice. Been happening in this game. That sort of match. Grant, penetrating kick. Darcy lost his balance coming to the ball. McGovern the mark. Dockers loose on this side of the ground. McGovern runs it out. A couple of bounces. Still he comes. Good coverage now by the Bulldogs. They're sticking with their men down the ground. McGovern has to go to Allen. Across it comes to Gale. Back to Allen. Back to Gale. Gale runs to centre half forward. Puts it up for Mann. Can Southern get there in time? No. Mann's taken the mark. Plays on the Waterhouse. That's ambitious. He stumbles. He kicks from 35. He's got it, I think. All clear. Oh. Well, your heart is in your mouth with the Dockers.
Well, Andrew McGovern had the courage to run off from the half-back area and just take on the players coming toward him. Had great assistance from his teammates in blocking as he came through, and then the great 3-4 between Gale and Ben Allen just to shoot around, quick hands. And Peter Mann doing the right thing and wanting to get onto his teammate who was free, but it was a pretty ordinary handball. Unfortunately, Waterhouse was able to get clear and snap that early.
Well, again, 2 late goals to the Dockers, close to siren time. Just like happened in the second quarter. So they've got a second win, Fremantle. Ramiro and the Bulldogs really do need a goal desperately before the siren. Time may beat them. Knocked down by Harding, who then applies a good tackle on Montgomery, and we're going to have a bounce. Just seconds remaining, and so the Dockers will enjoy a good lead as they have at the other changes. A good lead in the context, that is, of this game. And there is the siren. A little bit of a lift for Fremantle just before three-quarter time. Jared Neesham makes his way out onto the ground. So they have led at every change. 13 points, 11 points, and once again 11 points here at Fremantle this afternoon. 12-7-79 the Dockers, the Western Bulldogs 10-8-68.
It's just so important in this last break coming up that the Dockers get that momentum, that last 2 or 3 minutes going their way, so they go to the break confident, knowing they can do a bit. There's a bit of fire still left in some of the players. Whilst it's warm from both sides, it suggests that if it takes its toll, it might take its toll on the Bulldogs, although Terry Wallace is very confident about the fitness of his players, the ability to run out the game. At the moment, some of the Dockers runners just doing a little better.
Jared Neesham powwowing there with Winston Abraham. Terry Wallace, who took over from Alan Joyce after round 12 last season. There's a quiet air about the man, but he exudes confidence. That's contagious. And the Bulldogs now with a real challenge. It's three-quarter time at Subi, and the Dockers lead 12-7 to 10-8. Subiaco Oval, three-quarter time. The action in round 16 winding down, but you feel this is going to be a terrific last quarter. Fremantle 12-7, the Western Bulldogs at 10-8. Peterman 3 goals, along with Kingsley Hunter. And for the Western Bulldogs, Paul Hudson has kicked 3. Another game being played this afternoon at the MCG. It's between Melbourne and North Melbourne. Some stations featuring a replay later. If you don't want to know the score, look away now. Our man in the outer this afternoon, Jeff White, a ruckman from the Fremantle Dockers, outstanding prospect. And Jeff, looking at the ruck play in that term, Scotty Wine certainly knuckled down to business. Yeah, he did. He manned up on Spider. Spider dropped down the forward line a bit, and Scotty Wine was quick to pick that up, and it's becoming a good contest. Biggest danger for the Dockers from here, Chris Grant, do you think? Yeah, for sure. He's playing really well. He's leading up, and he's certainly causing us a problem. So we just have to knuckle down and try and close his lead and try and block his lead. Okay. Speaking of knuckling down, white knuckles for you in the last term as you watch this one. 2 of the umpires running over to Peter Mann to have a chat to him, Dennis. I'm not sure what that's about. That was the rhetorical question. Yeah, so why did I bring it up? I'm glad you did. I suppose Jeff's got white everything. Start of the final term, 12-7, 10-8. And the Bulldogs get back again. And each term they've grabbed the lead, of the last 2 certainly. Here's Wills. But every time the Dockers have met the challenge, the ball ricochets through the centre. Johnson a half chance. Durkay comes away. He's been handy. Looks for Mann. And Mann's taken the mark. Well, he's bounced back to terrific form this afternoon, Peter Mann, at both ends of the ground.
Yeah, terrific mark. He started the game in that sort of form.
Craig Ellis is a real comer in terms of potential, but this afternoon forced to lower his colours. So Mann, such an important kick here. And fitting, I guess, it's being taken by the skipper. This will make it tough for the Bulldogs. Just the start they didn't want to concede. Man, it's bending back. It's a beauty. Okay. The game is on.
I think he's as surprised as anyone, Dennis, too, with that kick, because it certainly looked as if it was going to stay left. It's a Stephen Kernahan type kick just coming back in. But again, the importance of getting the ball out of the middle, which is where We said at the start of the game the Western Bulldogs have been very strong, but they've been matched today by the Dockers. That just gives your forward such a chance.
Actually, Ross, it's a great feeling when that happens, isn't it? You don't expect it to come back, and just of its own volition it does.
Exactly right.
And then you sort of struck.
And then try to
I knew that. I bet that. I knew that.
I bet you can't explain why.
So the Dockers with a more than handy lead. Burton, who certainly had great influence on the game in the first half, to Abraham. O'Reilly, it comes towards centre wing. Abraham again. Grant chases him, can't catch him. Cretiuk got a hand to it. Little toe poke by Hunter. Off the ground, Ellis. Wirra may get there. The boundary line is too close. Throw in left half forward flank for Fremantle. Adrian on the boundary, you have something for us?
Pete, just the news from the huddle. Terry Wallace pretty composed, asking Chris Grant for something special in this last term. His message, the Bulldogs don't lose 2 in a row. For the Dockers, Spider Burton did a lot of the talking, very animated, saying push through the pain barrier, let's have a great win.
Ramiro's kick up towards centre wing. Grant off the hands of Wine. Back in towards midfield. Rowan Smith. Hudson, who's kicked 3 goals and had a hand in another, but Kickett chases him. He's been very, very good. Darcy rides his opponent into the ground. Fremantle fans looking for a free kick for in the back, but it's going to be a bounce, which I think was a good decision. Well, the Bulldogs need 4 goals really to get in front. In the context of this game, that may be a tall order. Speaking of tall, Darcy from Burton, a real up and under kick. Parker nearly, but leaves it for Durkay. Durkay, long clearing kick out of the zone towards centre wing. Chisholm missed it. Dent. Ramiro tackled by Wills. Up and under kick to half forward. Croft reads it best in front of McGovern. He's kicked a couple. They were a lot closer in than this. He'll be kicking from 55 metres, so the distance will certainly test him. No one in the goal square, really. Grant was over the line, so he anticipated, I guess, that he was going to get the distance, which he did, but it was only a minor score.
Brett Montgomery not being seen by Croft at all. He was about 15 metres in front of the square on his own. An easy target.
17 minutes to go. McGovern plays onto himself. The Dockers have won 5 out of 6 this season when they've led at 3/4 time. Ball up towards the wing. O'Reilly. No free kick there. The umpires letting them play. Down goes the runner off the ball. Sinclair meantime has got the ball. Feeds it back to Parker. Parker pulls away. Still Parker. Throws it in reverse. Drops it on the left boot. Kicks it down towards half forward. Coming through as Cretiuk. Gets a boot to it. Towards the boundary it goes. Sinclair. Put down by Cretiuk. And the boundary throw in. Nothing wrong with that. Just hard body work. Throw in on the wing. 13-7, 10-9. Fremantle lead. It's been a terrific game, this one. Wine, brilliantly done. Laid it down into the path of Cretiuk, who goes looking for a leading full forward, but Gale, sensing the danger, peeled off. Burton, I'd suggest, is the man. It goes in that direction. Burton a little slow to get to the ball. Wills could have been held. Ramiro put his body in. Oh, it was well played out there by Johnson to slap it away. It's taken by Durkay. Durkay slips away. Spider gets in there shepherding. Hard to contend with those 8 arms. The ball inside the 50. Great tackle laid by Mann. Jarred free on the outer side. Liberatore pops it out wider. Taken by Johnson. Johnson drives close to the boundary line. Montgomery. So good defence initially by Ramiro, setting this one up. The kick comes in towards the 50. Kickett missed it. Harding's got it. Loops the hand pass over the left shoulder. Gale close to the boundary line. In trouble. Montgomery got him. Ball is with Grant. Twisting and turning Grant. The little chip. Very precise. Montgomery just in from the line. The Dogs needing a goal here. Montgomery towards the unguarded middle. Hargraves couldn't gather the bouncing ball. Copped one anyway. Dimartina's got it 45 metres out. He split the difference and found a defender. Hudson to one side, Croft to the other. Harding between the pair, and the ball went to Harding.
Croft wasn't happy. Gale has the mark. His father watching in the stands will be pretty happy with his efforts today. That one would have had him biting the nails. Clement. That's a better kick. Long bomb up towards centre wing. Big punch away by Dent, gets it back again. Smith fumbles. The Bullies really under pressure. Dimatina back to Dent. Dent, excellent pass to half forward. He's found Darcy. Up and under kick. Oh, hospital job, that one. O'Reilly, the mark. Kick and goal is off target and one behind. Hudson, who has kicked 3 goals, 2. Made the most of his opportunities, Paul Hudson. And Hargraves, late inclusion in the side today, looking a little bit the worse for wear. McGovern, who's done most of the kicking in for the Dockers. Could have been interference there of Darcy. The umpire says it can go on. It does. Heath Black copped the heavy one in the 3rd quarter. Black's kick up towards where Cameron tries to get a foot to it. Ellis it was. And it beats man out of bounds for a throw in between wing and half forward for the Dockers. In fact, Hargraves coming off the ground. And he's going to be replaced by Simon Minton-Connell, who's had a fairly dirty day with just a couple of touches. Throw in, man and wine. Won by the Brownlow medalist, and he does it again. Dimatina, one of the most improved players in the competition. Up to Croft, who can kick long, and he does. Looking for Montgomery, and he's found him. Montgomery, quick to get on his bike, into the goal square, kicks truly, and puts it through.
Margin 9 points. And the ruckman collide. The ball fell at their feet. Burton knocks it out wide eventually. Black lifted behind. The hand pass, a good one too. Came across to Hudson, to West. West kicks long, going back. Parker paid the mark. Back in the middle, Johnson, slow to get up. He was the man that initiated that attack. Parker's got the ball meantime. 85-76. The breeze not a factor. Gently across this ground. Parker out of defence. McGovern, centre half back. Quality player, Andrew McGovern. High draft pick for the Sydney Swans. Now home. Runs away from half back. Black's on the mark from Smith, unlike him. Precision kick to man on the lead. He's been the master there.
Certainly has.
Peter Mann. Waterhouse leads. He ignores that. Puts it back into the path of Hunter. Surrounded. Waterhouse got back into the contest too. Liberatore left it behind. Mann threw it out. Advantage is paid. West to Ellis. Now Ellis looks down the ground. Little chip pass to Hudson on the lead. Hudson's got it the defensive side of the wing. Croft wants it back to the middle. That's ignored. He goes in behind Croft. Gale here with Montgomery. Important one-out contest, this one. Montgomery carries the day, pulls it back towards the middle. Minton-Connell is there with Parker. Loose ball behind, overrun by Clement. Oh, well played by Parker. Great courage. Gets it to Gale. Gale out of the back pocket, up towards the wing. They'll need to run. They come from all directions. Romero spins out of trouble. Chisholm missed him. Sweeping hand pass inside, taken by Smith. Smith inside the centre square. Can kick it a long way. Timely mark in defence by O'Reilly going back.
Timely indeed. Onto Harding in the back pocket. Montgomery chases. Harding, long clearing kick. Kickett and Croft. Still Croft. Leach has a holding decision. It's going to the Dockers.
Going to kick it, I think, against, was it against West?
Yes, correct. Kick it. Oh, half a step. Heath Black. He's got plenty of toe. Gets onto the left. Up towards full forward. Waterhouse, what can he do here off the ground? He'll kick a goal. He has!
I went to work one morning and came home 6 months later.
Stop.
I'd been surveying in a trench and my whole world collapsed. And why did it happen? Because they were rushing to meet a schedule and took a shortcut on safety. So do me a favour, never skip on safety, because it's not only the rules that get broken, some injuries never heal.
Safety. Think it, talk it, work it.
91-76. Bounce back in the middle. Clive Waterhouse has got his third goal. Wide, clean possession off this side of the boot. It wanders down towards half forward. Harding gathers it nicely. Directly across the ground. Durkee in space. We talked earlier about Waterhouse, born in England, grew up playing soccer. Those instincts came back to him then on that last goal. Two Sockers is generally above the average Aussie rules player. He controlled the ball brilliantly, not once but twice. Mann's got it right half forward. Kicks inside the 50. Waterhouse again, knocked away by Southern. Wirra confronted by Hunter, bounced off him. Wirra with some problems. Crediuk got by Waterhouse. Free kick is coming back to the Dogs to be taken by Tony Liberatore. No, alongside him, Crediuk will get it. Happened off the ball. Crediuk wasting no time. Up towards the wing. Was it a push? What a mark! It wasn't a push. It was a heck of a mark. Dale Kickett.
Fantastic game, Dale Kickett.
He has been magical this afternoon.
So has Peter Mann. He's taken 13 marks. He really has led from the front, hasn't he, today? And it was Burton, this man, who got them started. He got them fired up in the first quarter. Terrific first half from him. Probably not so dominant in the second half, but he's been most consistent. Waterhouse. West. Leach. Oh, gee. It's got 4 miles in the air. Punched away by Dent. Nearly finds Hudson as it turned out, but it's over the line. On the boundary is Adrian.
Yes, as the Dockers crowd finds its voice. 18,392 people. Injury update for the Western Bulldogs. Paul DiMartina's finally done his hammy good and proper, and I don't think you'll see him again. Hargraves hurt his elbow, his funny bone, I think, which isn't very funny, but he's gone back on too.
Ellis to Hudson to Cameron. Durkee being brought back on the mark. So past the halfway stage of the final quarter, 91-76, the Dockers by this about 2-goal margin all day. Wind. The Bulldogs have hit the front momentarily on a couple of occasions, but not for very long. Grant, that's holding the ball. McGovern to take the free kick.
Yeah, no real attempt to get it out there. He wanted to handball, but no target inside. She just kept it in.
Kick it. Hunter, strong hands, great mark. This may be the seal if he can kick it. He's kicked 3 goals, 1 today, Kingsley Hunter. Leach off and Luke Toyer back on. A game that Luke Toyer will remember, or will he? Cop one at the first bounce and been uphill since. Now, distance won't be a factor, you'd reckon, for him. Chris Grant kicked a goal from a similar position. And that may be there. That may be the ball game. It's a goal.
When Mick Doohan's not flying around the world's racetracks, he's flying Qantas, the airline with a frequent flyer program as international as he is.
Dockers by 21 points then. Time now for the Bulldogs to come at them again or forever hold their peace. Knocked down by Wine, taken by Toyer, gave it away to O'Reilly, to Wills. Slick hands in the middle. Burton not too slick, claimed by West. Ramiro hacks it out of mid-air. It's coming back. It's going to be a Dockers free against Spider Burton.
Holding the ball, Dennis.
And West to take it. West towards half forward. Hargraves under the ball. Kick it again. It's across to Durkee. Toyer is on. Durkee ignores that. Has a bounce. Toyer offers the Shepherd. Kick from Durkee. Out comes Hunter. Almost. Down near his ankles, that one. Gathered by Croft, who worked so hard. Croft kicks it towards the outer side wing. Didn't look that time, though. He's going for distance. Clement's got it. intended for man, wide of the mark, errant kick out of bounds on the full. 7.5 minutes to go here at Subi. And you get the feeling the Dockers have got back into the finals race again. A game they had to win. They're in control at the moment. Croft to Ellis. Great pace by Ellis. Comes away on the wing. Kicks inside the 50. Kick it. Escorts the ball across the line. Feeling the effects, Dale Kickett. What a player he's been.
25 possessions.
Yeah, 25 possessions today. And that would be close to his average against the Western Bulldogs. Close to his average against most teams. It's a wonderful story. Wine goes up, hooks it down behind. McGovern stood up in the tackle. Got it to Burton. Carries the ball out towards the outer side. Montgomery's in front. Or is it Cameron? Cameron it is. And the ball goes across the boundary line.
Throw in. Close to the wing. 7 minutes remaining in the contest. Leon Cameron back into the side today. Played 3 games in the reserves after coming back from injury. Wind in front. That's as far as they're going. It's going to be another ball up. But the difference 21 points. 7 minutes to go. You'd think the Dockers have just about got the bickies. And Jeff, I don't think you'd be biting your nails, would you?
No, not at all. It was at the start of the quarter, but not now. They're virtually, there's a bit of that was a seal of the goal last kick that was kicked, but hopefully they can hold on.
I think they will. Wind belts at some 30 metres. Harding's in the road. Kick comes across the ground. No one there really. Will it stop? It does. Still in play. Montgomery reads it best and stopped. Tackled by Clement, ineffective. Out in front of goal, O'Reilly. He's been impassable. O'Reilly from fullback measures his options. He's going to go out to the outer side, looking for Kickett, and why wouldn't he? We mentioned just a minute back, 25 possessions, looking for number 26 against Mitton Connell. Couldn't get it. Winston Abraham comes back on.
Harpdale stopped with cramp, I think, Pete.
I think he's got a bit of cramp. He'll be okay. Wind again. Tries to loop it back to a teammate. Rowan Smith. Ellis brushes one tackle from 45 metres, goes at goal and has shaved the post. When they badly needed a goal. Might be their last throw of the dice. We've still got 5 3/4 minutes, but they need 4 goals. They've only kicked 11 for the match. What's the matter with Kyle, Adrian?
Yeah, Ross was spot on. It's he's got cramp. The effort to get there was just so intense that he cramped up. It wasn't the collision with the cement wall.
McGovern short to the pocket. This is Harding. They needed that last goal. Ellis missing from 35 metres out. These players are very tired. Hot day, certainly for this time of year. No quarter given or asked. There goes the kick around the outer side from Harding. Burton is up, helps the ball on its way. Exposed behind the pack. Toya gathers it, confronted by Wine, slips away. Luke Toya back towards the middle. Good mark, under pressure. Winston Abraham. Inside the centre square. Time, the enemy now of the Bulldogs. Chisholm into space now. He can run to centre half forward and have a shot.
He'll come back, Dennis.
The ball will come back. Yeah. Abraham to retake his kick, but Chisholm suddenly got free. And he's still free. We may see an instant replay. No, he was going to, but Grant, sensing the danger, peeled off. Poor kick. Southern gets in front, takes the mark. 20 points the difference. 5 minutes and 5 seconds to go. Southern chips it out wide. Pretiuk at right half back, pops it up towards the wing, and Grant. Chisholm closing, loose ball behind, and Grant gets a free. Not much to that one, I wouldn't have thought.
Yeah, the umpire saying he held his jumper.
Well, he did. Good call. Grant to Wirra. He's off immediately. Brad Wirra miscues with a kick. It bounces inside the 50. Full-chested. Clement came to meet it. Still Clement. Taken front on, holding the ball. Liberatore. It was a quick whistle. Liberatore is 60 metres out. No doubting it was holding the ball. Clement, prior opportunity as you saw. taking on the tackler. This is Wirra. Got it from Liberatore. Sends it very high down towards full forward. But the fall of the ball, Harding feeds the hand pass off. Opportunity for Abraham. Chips it in short to Durkay. Durkay decides to run it out. A second bounce. Durkay cruising up towards midfield. A third bounce. Gave it away. West in the opposite direction. In short and low down. Hudson's got it.
Last throw of the dice now for the Bulldogs. 4 minutes left. They need some goals if they're to pinch this match, and really that would probably be an injustice. Hudson, their equal leading goal kicker, with 3. Matthew Croft also has 3. Distance will certainly test him from 55. There won't be a goal. Wind knocked away by Burton. Good tackle by Clement. All tied up and a ball up 15 metres out from goal. So for the first time this season, the Western Bulldogs look like losing 2 games in a row. They were beaten by the Dockers in the first match at Optus Oval when Winston Abraham bounced one through. Bad kicking that day. I think they kicked 10-20 from memory. Burton looked for Toya, couldn't find him. West snaps. West misses. Out of bounds or behind. I think he's kicked a minor score. He has. His first score of the day. 15-7 to 11-12. In fact, it was 10-20. Thank you, Ross. But with just 3 minutes left and a bit, you would think the Dockers have pinched this one. McGovern. He's been great all day. He's just kept running. Sinclair from left half back. 18,000 Dockers fans here this afternoon. They're going to enjoy this. Punched away by Croft. Finds the sanctity of the boundary line as Gale prepares to come back on after crap. He looks okay. He'd like to get back into the action.
So the Western Bulldogs off to the SCG next round. That won't be easy. So important this afternoon. So frustrating for them. A couple of times got their noses in front. Here's O'Reilly. Hot one. Burton. Well, that's slick. Toya kicks it down towards half forward. Southern, great grab. 2.5 minutes to go. And the Dockers, it would seem a home. They'll improve their record to 8-8. Abraham knocking away from Wirra. Allen's off the ground. Gale is back on. Gale 21 possessions today. Very good. Some of those very hard. Wine. Toya smothered off the boot by Grant, who's trying so hard for his side. Storming through his Cameron. Still a bit rusty. To West, back to Cameron. Cameron inside the centre square then. Not a good finish though. Down towards half forward. Overrun by Durkay. West runs on. Spots Montgomery. And Montgomery's taken the mark on the 50. Time is on the wing. He goes in short. Hargraves. He's marked about 35 metres out. Directly in front. With the clock inside the last 2 minutes of the game. Hargraves has kicked one. Make that 2.
8:30 tonight.
Call me Fitz.
Quality British dramas here on 7 with an all-new exciting cracker.
Well, tough titty. I'm not for hire.
Robbie Coltrane.
What are you offering? Dollars. US.
Hong Kong.
Pounds.
He's a very unorthodox psychologist.
Running from what?
With an instinct for truth.
He's lying.
And a nose for detection.
He's more experienced. He's more organised. He's harder to catch.
Cracker. 8:30 tonight on Channel 7.
For the Bulldogs to win, they've got to get it out of the centre here, score a quick goal, and then just hope. Burton and Wine. Wine wins it, tries for Grant or Romero, picked up by the latter. Kick it or missed it. One of the rare mistakes he's made today. Liberatore, Hudson, backhands it. Grant, Wills has got him. Good tackle, ball jart free. Hudson again. Outside 50, won't be a score. Wobbles up towards Minton Connell. He's been in the land of the missing today. He spent some time on the bench. And a chance to bring the Bulldogs a little bit closer. Just over a minute to go, though. No time to waste time. Kicked 1 goal, 1 for the day, so his tally for the season is 42. From 35 metres out, he kicks the goal. Well, maybe there's still hope. That's his second. 7 points the difference. 50 seconds to go. We pose the question, Ross, if they get it out of the centre again, and there's 30 seconds remaining, gee.
That's been their forte this year, getting out of the centre, but you'd suggest that time would be against them.
Yep.
Fortuitous kick there by Hudson after some good work by Liberatore in the pack. Saw the ball come free, the forwards in front. Conversion by McDonald.
50 seconds to go. The Dockers need to hold the line here. The Bulldogs the best, as we said, getting it out of the centre. They need one of their best efforts. They've got it. Grant works it wide. Here come the Western Bulldogs. Croft on the wing. Still he goes. Croft down towards half forward. Down to 35 seconds. Smith almost. Had he held that, not beyond his range. He goes back to Liberatore. Liberatore around the corner. And the mark's been held about 35 metres out. A chance now for Montgomery to get it to within 1 point. But the clock continues to run. We're down to 19 seconds. And the clock is still running. No time off blown at all. Montgomery's missed in any case. Now, that's not a bad result, really. Perhaps this is the best they can expect. They could force a draw here. We've got 4 seconds to go. There wasn't enough time to go back to the middle and score. This needs to be precise. This should be good enough. Parker on his chest. And that should be the ball game. Listen to that roar. What a great comeback by the Bulldogs. But they come away with nothing.
A few bruises. So twice in the season, these two sides have fought out a thriller, and the Dockers have won it. Just a kick in it. They won at Optus Oval earlier in the year when Abraham converted, and today they've hung on again. They lit virtually all day. Probably, Ross, it would have been travesty of justice had they lost it.
That's what I was going to say. When they let it all the way through, and they did deserve to win. And I think Adrian's got Spider-Burton.
Yeah, boys, I wish I wore my high heels, actually, Spide. What a great win.
Yeah, that was a big win, but we're always going to fight back, just depending whether we're going to win or it was going to be close, yeah.
How important was the Collingwood belting? Did that fire the boys up?
Yeah, it's been a long week. It's been 8 days between games, and we're glad it's behind us now.
Now, your own form, I saw you fire the boys up at three-quarter time. You got into them, said, push through the pain barrier. We can win this. It'll be a great win. You're going beautifully, son.
Yeah, that was pain too, that last quarter. It's pretty hot out here today, Barra. And it was good to get over it.
And the Bulldogs, they didn't give up. Nearly got there a little close at the end.
Yeah, they nearly stole it. And it was a long last quarter.
Your own form, mate. You love playing the ruck. You just love playing footy, don't you?
Yeah, it's fair. Hopefully I can keep going to the end of the year.
Good on you, mate. Go and enjoy it. All the best.
There's Adrian Barrage going eyeball to Adam Zappel with Spider-Burton. 15-7, 13-13. Just a terrific game of football. And the Bulldogs so close to pulling off a game that is so important to their premiership ambitions. As I mentioned, to the SCG next round, if they'd have won today, they could have still been thinking of top 2. It's going to be tough now. The Dockers, of course, are right back in the mix again. Jeff White is down on the boundary. Time to celebrate, Jeff. In fact, he's gone. Jeff is already celebrating. He's dashed off. Jeff White. So maybe he's about to join his teammates down there. Broad smiles all around. They were made to earn it. There's Jeff. But he's not mic'd up any longer. He's putting the gear away. We thank him for being part of our coverage this afternoon.
Yeah, Dennis, good win for the Dockers when you consider that Wills, who's been in great form all years, had 9 possessions. Toya with 12. Callahan didn't play. And they just lacked that general drive from the midfield, so they got it elsewhere.
Yep.
And so it's a pretty meritorious effort, given they had that interim room missing today.
Peter Mann was sensational.
Well, I think to step up like that, he had, 13 marks. Just asserted himself early with those 2 goals. Kingsley Hunter with his 4. They just had targets up there. Waterhouse, who started on the bench, came in and chipped in with 3.
Now, less than 20,000 fans here today. You wonder what the heck is wrong, because this side demands respect. I mean, given the blowout last week, forget about that.
You think that might have been a factor, Dennis? I mean, a thumping, which was seen live over here. against the second top side, maybe they thought, well, we haven't got a chance against them.
Well, it could be, but I think the history of the Dockers shows they've got a chance against everybody.
That's fair enough.
They've been terrific today, missing a few, as Ross said, but they've been able to weather this charge by the Bulldogs, who lose nothing, I think, in terms of admiration for their finals effort. They played very well. Just a couple of times today when they got ahead, they couldn't go over the hump, and the Dockers came back at them. Of course, the Dockers in these conditions, hard, firm ground, warm day, are able to really exploit their style of football perhaps to the nth degree, and so it proved. Every time they were challenged by the Western Bulldogs, they found a little bit, but we enjoyed that one this afternoon. And the Dockers improved their record to 8-8, and the Western Bulldogs are back to 10-6, and Geelong now get a buffer at the top of the table. Geelong winners yesterday against the Tigers, saw that game at Cardinia Park. And they're a team to be reckoned with. Everyone looking for value down the ladder, but why ignore the team on top? The Cats are playing very good football. They surrendered to start yesterday. The Tigers came out of the blocks and got clear, and then we saw Geelong work their way back into it through hard work. And hard work, the essence of the contract for this team this afternoon. Come on, come on. 1, 2, 3, 4. Here we go. Well, it was the Dockers all day, 13, 11, 11, and finally 6 at the end. Terrific finish there. The Western Bulldogs coming hard back at the Fremantle Dockers, 97-91. Checking the goal scorers, Kingsley Hunter got 4, as did Peter Mann. And 3 to Clive Waterhouse, a live wire on the forward line this afternoon. And for the opposition, Hudson got 3 and Croft got 3. Now, at the MCG this afternoon, it was North Melbourne against Melbourne. Some stations taking a replay. If you don't wish to know the score, I suggest you look away now. Joined now by Ross Glendinning. And Roscoe, what do we say about this one? Really enjoyable game of football. Both sides totally committed today from the very first bounce.
Yeah, it was pretty physical early, but I'd suggest that the Dockers set to their game plan, which is to not to go too physical, run the legs off the Bulldogs, and I think they did that very well. And the important plus today, excuse me, was both Peter Mann and Kingsley Hunter up forward. I think Peter Mann with 13 marks was a target they haven't had for some time, and I thought they did very well given that Callaghan was a late withdrawal. Toya and also Ben Allen were pretty quiet in the midfield, so those players who usually produce good numbers for them didn't today, and they had other players supplementing them. So someone like Waterhouse, Abraham, Durkay off the wing, Mark Gale's another player who stepped up and did pretty well today. And Spider Burton was important in the middle. I thought in the first half particularly he did very well.
Now this man always impresses me, Andrew McGovern. Yeah. There's a lot of mayhem back there in that defence for the Dockers. He's a cool head.
Well, usually when he does get the ball, he does something with it, fairly constructive. And this little 3-4 effort from Allen and Gale was just great. And they found the target in Mann. And then he tried to get the ball onto Waterhouse, nearly an oops, but good enough was Waterhouse to get around his right and kick the goal. So a pretty meritorious effort, given that they had such a belting last week and a lot of the confidence in players' heads would be down, but they came through very, very well. The Bulldogs' record over here has been pretty good, and they tried terribly hard. They ran their hearts out, but just the quality in the end of their play, not as good as the Dockers. And this fella nearly stole it for them in the end. He had a shot at goal after this, which might have given that extra bit of momentum. Yeah. They may have run out of time, Dennis, I don't know, but you've just got to kick them when you've got your opportunities. Heath Black did a few good things. Spent time on the bench.
You've got to say it's one of those games that came down to the very last kick, because had it been wide, and that was very clever by Waterhouse. I mean, I made the point, brought up as a soccer player, and he was able to control that ball above the knee down into his own path and then follow up and soccer it through. no sort of luck there. That was contrived and well controlled by Clive Waterhouse.
Correct. And I think the stats there show that the Bulldogs had enough of the football to win the game, but just not able to use it properly. And nearly 100 marks for the Dockers. Last week they struggled for anyone to take a catch at all, even a chest mark, so they turned that around very, very well. Tackles, centre breaks, well, in the end they favoured the Bulldogs, but I'm not sure that we got good value from that. Inside 50, Bulldogs got in there far more often than what the Dockers did, but they were more precise when they got there, the Dockers, and kicked well early.
So finally the Dockers by 6 points. We'll be back shortly. Good game of footy, and the Dockers get home by 6 points, 15-7 to 13-13. What does it all mean? Let's take a look at the league ladder. Bearing in mind this ladder doesn't show North Melbourne and Melbourne. They played this afternoon. Geelong on top of the table, and they get a buffer now by 4 points and percentage, 11-5 over the Western Bulldogs, who slipped back to 10-6. And then look at the congestion behind them, and Fremantle jumping in amongst it too. Currently in 11th place, 8-8. With a game away, a game and percentage, of course, worth virtually 2 games from 3rd place behind the Adelaide Crows. Geelong on top, though, at the end of round 16.
The 1997 AFL Premiership season. Proudly brought to you by Foster's Light Ice for extreme refreshments. Telstra, making life easier. Qantas, the spirit of Australia. And McDonald's, the official restaurant of the AFL.
Well, Ross, if it were the Melbourne Cup, they've rounded the home turn. They're headed for home now.
Gee, I like to look at Port next Friday night, even though I saw Essendon yesterday. They just struggle to have any key players, so I like Port there.
Huge game for Port, that one. Down to Sydney, 19 straight at home up against the Western Bulldogs. And Brisbane and St Kilda, perhaps the standout game of the round right there. The Lions have won their last 5, so the Saints and the Lions, look out for that one as the standout game, as I say. So finally, the Dockers here at Subiaco Oval, home by 6 points. Time to go home now to Melbourne. Here's Drew Morford. Drew?
Thank you, Dennis. Well, here at the MCG, I have as companions a few stragglers amongst the crowd and a lot of seagulls. But today, North Melbourne played Melbourne here at the MCG. And Melbourne on bottom of the ladder probably never had a better chance to win, because North, the reigning premier,